hello. My name is Trixie M. Ensign, your Gladys Mad Scientist, B2B VTuber enthusiast. I know none of you are here yet because I literally just hit the start button, but it makes me feel good to do the intro anyway. And
Yeah,
this
and I'm
is.
here too.
Yeah, and he's here too.
I'm Daniel Orpheus.
He's here.
I'm just a little guy.
You're actually like the more important person in this because I'm actually just the audience stand in. You're the person that actually knows about Warhammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're.
Oh,
This
thank
is
you for the follow.
Yeah, this is
Uh,
kind of your stream. I'm basically just
yeah.
here. Let me see if I can just.
Thank you for the follow, Crocodile. On the show, we're going to be talking about Warhammer and all of the magic.
Whoop whoop.
And this magical hobby that I have that we're here to indoctrinate the world into.
I love being indoctrinated. That's all the best
Yeah.
things happened in my life because I was indoctrinated in them.
Okay, we've got a Night Lords fan in the chat. Okay, I see how it is.
Okay, I didn't even share
With
chat because I'm too lazy to start the. I'm
Who's
too
both?
lazy to
Okay,
start.
so I'm very excited to get to them. So stick around because okay, the emo boy I sent you and said I can fix him.
Yes.
This guy's a big fan of that guy.
Oh, nice. Teach me about the emo boy. Am I gonna have to freaking
Okay,
see? This is the
so I
kind
guess
of
to
stuff I'm
start,
talking about.
right? There's like this picture. The Emperor picture. 40K. Let me find this one picture. This. Yeah. So don't go too deep. Don't worry, we're gonna go over the basics. So,
We can go. I said
oh,
we can like if you want to go super
we can go.
complicated. I
There's a
can do that.
lot to cover.
I'm a smart kiki.
So we want to, get a little bit of everything. Because, like if we went too much in on elves, then then we couldn't get to the humans or the funny fish guys.
Oh, they're fish guys.
Yeah, there's awesome little fish
Are
guys,
they
and they
fish
have
guys?
Gundams. There's fish
Okay.
guys with Gundams, and they're awesome.
Sign me the fuck up. Okay, but yes, let me.
Yeah.
Please teach me your. Okay, let me not have it open on the chat. Obviously, we need to be able to see the board. So
How do
where do
I?
you want to start? I am your
Okay.
captive audience. Like I am your captive
Yeah.
audience. This is the
I'm
dream,
trying to
basically.
paste an image into this. Uh, how do I make it let me paste? I know what to do. I'll go, if I open it in my Chrome, maybe I'll be able to do it. This is the trick. Okay. Sorry, we found this website that lets us put images on the screen, and I'm trying to make it work. This
Oh, there
guy.
we go.
Okay, so this guy.
Okay. Okay. Hi,
So
guys.
you see that skeleton in a chair.
I see
He
him.
rules humanity, and by that I mean he's dead. But none of us are willing to accept that.
Is he
Okay.
the guy like
That's
the
the
guy?
Emperor. That's John Warhammer.
Is
Okay.
that the emperor? Where when everybody's like for the emperor, it's this guy.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. He
Oh,
used to be alive, and then he had 20 kids. He had 18. He had 19 kids. So there's two of them that we don't talk about. Like all we know about them is that something happened, and we don't talk about them anymore.
okay, like Bruno. No, we don't talk about Bruno.
Exactly. Yeah. We don't know their names. We don't know what they were like. There's theories, but it's like it's there so you can make up your own OC character, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Uh, and so then he he's actually alive now. Like year 2025, he's somewhere out there.
So as of
The Emperor
today, he's
started
alive.
as of today. He like started happening like more than 1,000 years ago because he was Alexander the Great. Okay.
I'm sorry.
He's a shapeshifter and he just keeps taking up like different lives and doing different shit. I think he's Weird Al, but
No,
that's my conspiracy theory.
no, he's Christian. You know what? At this point,
I just believe that
sure,
one.
sure, he's Christian.
Uh, And the Emperor, he's a space wizard, and he eventually decides that he's gonna unite humanity, and he's gonna like do something to make us all space wizards. And he invents his Marines, his Space Marines, because he's Jimmy Space. They're named after him. Uh, so he invents the Space Marines, and the way he does it is he has these 20 kids, of whom we know 18,
Right.
and they're called the Primarchs, and they're like special. They're big demigod guys, and they all get like Superman and like Goku how they get like sent in pods to other planets.
Oh yeah, they do that. They do that. They go
Yeah,
and
they all get sent to pods to other planets, and they all develop their own unique daddy issues.
oh okay, they get invincible as well. We can throw that in
Yes,
there.
they get invincible. So he's got these 20 kids, and the Space Marines are made by like taking their demigod DNA and like plugging that into a human.
Oh.
So that's what a Space Marine is. Uh, and it makes you like 8 feet tall and real strong, and you can spit acid for some reason.
It's probably all the chew. Like if they're Marines, it's
Yeah,
probably the chew.
yeah. It lets you eat the hardest space crayons or something. But okay, so he's got these 20 kids, and he uses his 20 kids to go try to unite the galaxy. And he's kind of a high key human supremacist. Okay, kind of an asshole,
I mean,
kind of a terrible dad.
yeah, for the humans.
But like, he wasn't that bad, comparatively to now, right? Prequel wise, like in the prequels, which is when he's like still up there running around, that was like the golden age when things were good. And by good I mean they sucked ass, but not that much.
Right, right.
So
So was
he
he
runs this
alive when
empire.
the kids got sent off?
Yeah, yeah. He
Okay.
like went out to go find them, and he was actually a Reddit atheist.
Hmm.
Uh, so before like everybody said, "Oh my God, the Emperor is God," he was like, "No, I love r/atheism," and checkmate, checkmate, God believers. It's you guys believing that like makes shit bad. Yeah. Uh, so he makes this empire that says, "Hey, there's no such thing as gods. There are, but he doesn't want anybody to know that because he's got this thing where he likes keeping secrets."
Yeah, he's got an agenda. Letting them know the
Yeah,
truth
he
would go
has an
against the
agenda
agenda.
where it's like there's gods that he doesn't like, and they're like power. That fantasy way of like believing in them gives them power.
You said some of his kids didn't. Like I said, some of his kids didn't like him that
Yeah,
much.
somebody said some of his kids didn't like him, so some of his kids start worshiping the gods that he doesn't like. He, uh, so there's four gods. Okay, there's Korn, uh, who is. Let me pull up a picture. Let me get a picture. Oh my god, I accidentally put a bunch of images of the Emperor on screen because I copy pasted too many at once.
For the emperor, I guess. You know.
For the Emperor. Uh, so there's Korn. You know the blood for the blood god meme?
This is the guy.
This is the blood god. This
Oh
is
my
where that
god,
comes from.
it's the fucking guy. Can
Yeah.
you make it bigger?
So, uh, let me. I'm trying to get him on screen. I'm just messing it up.
Oh yeah, no rush. Oh, it's at the other. Yeah, I'll let you cook. Oh.
Yeah. So this guy, the guy on that's
Oh my
the
god,
blood god
that's
on the
so
skull
fucking
throne.
metal. That's so fucking
Yes.
metal.
So the way Warhammer was made is a bunch of guys got in
Jesus.
a room and said it would be fucking metal if, and then everybody agreed and they wrote that in, and they just
That's.
kept doing that
I'm
for three
sorry. This is
decades.
fucking Kino. Like, I'm kind
It's
of.
awesome.
I'm a little bit like flabbergasted about how much my edgy soul is like.
It's so cool. Okay.
Dang, call
So
hello,
he's like,
hello. I am learning about the WarHams today and the Blood God who's on the screen. Say hello to him.
yeah. So he just wants blood and skulls. He's simple in that he will accept any skulls and any blood, but he likes good, cool skulls most. So it's like, he would like it if you have an honorable duel against a worthy opponent. because like not all skulls are skull throne material. Skulls are cool, but worthy skulls or strong opponents are like the best skulls.
So he's like a
Uh,
hobbyist.
that's his thing. Uh, there's Nurgle, who's like the god of smelling bad and stuff.
Now, I've heard of him. I've heard
He's
lots of
like,
comparisons to him and certain streamers
yes,
whose names
he's
I don't
like,
feel like care
yeah.
to mention.
So if you're familiar with Asmongold, you
I
may
thought
know.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I'll say it.
Pippa isn't
Shoot,
like
it's
that
not coming up
crazy
on screen.
anymore though. She like evolved. She
True.
cleans her room now. No swearing. Ah, nuts. Oh, Farfanugan.
Mhm. So there's this guy who's gonna come up on my stream chat soon. On my screen. But his thing is that he smells really bad. And he's like the god of plague and disease. Except actually, he's a really jolly, fun guy.
He's just gross.
Yes.
He's like
He's
that
like,
real cool guy that just doesn't lives in his house and just doesn't clean his house at all.
yeah. He's like, because he's the god of like despair and death, he's like, everybody dies and we all fall to despair, so we're all equal. Grandpa Nurgle loves us all equally. And he's a wacky grandpa who wants to spread his gifts to everybody. And his gift is the flu. Okay? And he's big and stinky. More emperors keep appearing on screen.
That's
what have I done?
I suppose.
What have I done?
Does this have anything to do with the Four Horsemen, or does it just happen to be?
No.
You have a book?
So.
And you haven't shilled your fucking book?
Whoa, somebody in chat has a book?
Shill your fucking book. Like, right now. If you have a link, I want to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not swearing, so shill your freaking book. If you have a link, I want to see it.
Yeah.
But in any case, go ahead.
So, okay. Then we have Zinch, who is blue, and Eldritch, right? So we got the zombie, we got like the classic demon-looking guy, we've got the zombie-looking guy. Now we have Eldritch Horror and Birds. And he's the god of things that make your head hurt, okay? Like he's... Oh, did I accidentally close my opera? I don't even know, man. I guess he does.
What mouths do? You have to specifically point to
it. Does it all.
There is a mouth on his crotch, right? I'm not just making that up, right? Well, keep going. When you finish it,
no, you're seeing it.
Shill it. I will buy it. I will support your book when it exists. So please make it exist.
And he's the god of like magic and tricks and things.
He's the god of freaky. Is what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, you get to the god of freaky.
He's not even
okay. This is the second freakiest god.
It's not even the god with the crotch on his mouth on his crotch.
No, it gets freakier.
Oh my god. Not even Fantome was this freaky.
Let me pull up. Let me find this one picture. Where's the right picture? Is this an official art? I think it might be. The god of getting freaky is Slanesh, who's the most recent god who got formed by just like elves being freaky and getting into freaky shit.
Not that the elves got too freaky. That seems like that's how a god would
be.
It's just elves got too freaky. Because the elves are either super freaky or like ascetics. There is no in between.
No, a lot of the elves became ascetics. They saw that this is like what it looks like also.
Wow. Are they single?
So like basically the elves they started getting freaky, and some of the elves went and became Amish because they didn't like how society was going. The worshippers are like the old elven gods. And the rest said like, "Hey, let's fuck wood chippers.
Keep
I'm gonna
BB
stick my
away
dick in a
from.
wood chipper."
It's like keep BB away from all this. She's too good for all this murder orgy stuff. That's more my territory.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'm like, are they single though? This is my question.
Are they single?
Can I fucking God if I
Yeah.
wanted to?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
But some of them like it more if you play hard to get.
Oh, okay, good. Don't be desperate. Got
Because
it.
like one of their favorite followers is somebody who's like, "Nah, you're not real. You're fake, and I don't worship you."
And they're
And
like,
that's their
yeah,
like
I'm
favorite
into
guy.
that.
Yeah. So the emperor does not like these guys very much. And then one of his kids gets poked with a magic sword. Uh, that like he needs to go get the help from the gods to heal from. And his name is Horus. And
He committed
he's
a
bald.
heresy.
Okay. Yes, he does the heresy. You've got it.
That's,
And
that's
he is
basically like everybody's like, oh wow, this like that's like
yes.
the
I don't know why they trusted a guy named Horus Heresy, but you know,
it's Horace Horace D heresy.
yeah, Horus D Heresy. And he is bald. Almost all of the bald ones are evil. That,
Of course.
yeah, but he's like hot bald. He has some brothers who are like ugly bald, and some of them are hot bald. So he's evil and mean. But the Emperor is also evil and mean. They fight a war about like he says that the Space Marines should rule humanity, and the Emperor says that the humans should rule humanity, and both of them think fuck elves and dwarves.
Yeah, this is what I'm about. I
They're
love
kind of
it.
assholes.
I
They're
love
both kind of
fantasy.
assholes.
I love fantasy racism though. Like
Yeah.
I don't particularly like fantasy racism because as a one-and-one analogy to RLL racism because it's different.
Yeah.
Like it has, you know,
They're like
everything has roots in other things, but it's like sometimes you just want to be a human and say fuck dwarves and elves. When I'm a human, I say fuck dwarves and elves in a different way, but you know what I mean. Oh, $10 and you get a hardcore edition signed and the concept art and the deep.
Oh.
Yeah, I want
you
that
can send
for
me a link.
$10. Yeah, for $10, make that.
That's so good.
Make that exist. Like that's such a good deal. Don't offer that to anybody else. Just us.
Offer it to me.
And I want the nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope they're dino nuggets.
So, yeah. We've got the Emperor's 20 kids, and they all have their Legion of Space Marines. So we got. I guess we should go. You should go. There's the good boy Space Marines who stayed with the Emperor, and you can play as them. So there's the two armies that have like the biggest range. Well, the biggest range army in terms of like you have a lot of shit that you can play are the Space Marine. Okay. Let me pull up a picture of one. Let me actually pull up a picture. There's even a video game where you play as them. It's very popular. Have not played it yet. I think my PC would cry.
Understandable.
I've heard it's very good.
We talk in 5 years if you still talk. Better still talk. What the fuck? You gonna stop watching me in 5 years? I'm gonna still be streaming in 5 years.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
So this guy, he's a little blurry. But they're tall and they live a long time, and depending on which of the Emperor's kids they get their super juice from, they have a different gimmick. Like there's vampires and werewolves and like boring ones.
Not just vampire werewolves and mid.
Yeah, there's like guys who wear red and are werewolves, guys who wear like cyan who are werewolves, not like cyan, but like a pastel blue.
Right.
There's guys who wear yellow and they like building things.
That's kind of fun, like Bob.
It kind of, yeah. Literally, they wear like OSHA, like high visibility work clothes.
OSHA, space OSHA is
Yeah.
kind of a fun ideal though.
So it's a thing. The big thing about the Empire is like it's both super good at being evil and completely not functional. And that's what makes it like a fun satire.
Right.
Where it's like there's like a thing where there's like a DMV in order to get your like spaceship license, right?
Hmm.
And the line takes hundreds of years, but people still live like normal people amounts of time.
So you
You
can
get
live
in
and
line so that
die in the DMV
yeah,
line.
there are people who like live and die so that their grandkids can have a driver's license.
That's amazing.
And then like, you know,
We live in a we
when
live
your
in a
parents die, you
society.
take up their spot in line.
It's like eventually somebody in this family is gonna be able to fucking drive.
Eventually somebody will get a driver's license. So it's like, you know, it's goofy. So on the front line defending that, you have Space Marines, and they're cool. In game, they're like your all rounder. So the way the game works, you have like a certain amount of points. Both players have the same amount of points, and you get like everything costs a different amount of points. So like a Space Marine is like 15 points, I think. I don't check. I play cool armies. Shots fired. But so like a Space Marine is kind of high points compared to other things. So they're good at shit. And they
Right.
do it all and they have a million options.
So like your standard
Uh
jack of all trades.
yeah. They're like a little more elite. You won't have quite as many guys on the table as others, but that also means that they're cheaper. Okay. They are more affordable to play because you get more shit in a box, right?
Right. Oh, cool. Also, thank you for the redeems. I am super hydrated. The posture wasn't great,
Yeah.
but I have like tea and Coca Cola, which I have to drink it both of. Oh yeah, look at them little guys. They're just guys.
Yeah. Then you got uh there's red ones who wear jetpacks. These ones don't have jetpacks in this picture, but they're vampires.
As God
But they're
intended.
like, you know, the noble vampire with a heart of gold trope, right?
Yeah.
That's them. They're.
Oh, they're fancy.
Let me
They're
show
bougie
you.
vampires.
Yes,
I enjoy a good bougie
they're
vampire.
like a la carte Castlevania, and their
Ah,
boss is. They're like, you know, they're a little emo. They're like, you know, struggling against the
they
bloodthirst,
don't. They're not having
trying to be
fun
good.
being vampires.
Yeah,
I'm kind of into
there's
that.
like every like Space Marine chapter, the big ones, they have a bunch of spin-offs that are like, oh, you can paint him differently and you can paint him in this color scheme and they have their own lore or whatever and you can make up your own. There's one where it's like,
When it's
actually, we're vampires and we do like eating people. We do it
exactly,
for fun
we
all the
love
time.
it. They're delicious. That when I get a Discord server, when I get a Discord, my Discord server, I don't know because I don't want to run a Discord server. So I'll get back to
Yeah.
and when a Discord server becomes necessary, I will let you know, and then I will deal with the obligation of monitoring it. When you all fucking behave is when you get a Discord server. How about that?
You have to prove that you can be in a Discord server without me having to watch.
Exactly. Like
Like how you can't
exactly.
leave a kid home alone until they're old enough.
You're a silent person. I don't have like yeah. It's like I don't have enough like big enough community to justify. Hey, let's get a Discord server. So what I do, I will. So you should chill me, and when I get enough people, we'll have a Discord server, and I'll have someone else watch it. But yeah,
This
what were
is
you saying
their
about the vampires?
so this is the first vampire, their magical space dad. Uh
Oh, okay. So
and
their
he's hot and
vampire
everybody likes him.
is one of the guys from.
Yeah, this is one of the Emperor's kids, and he's the
Okay,
good one that everybody loves. He is dead.
of course,
Rip.
of fucking course.
But what happened is like now because he had like future vision powers and shit, right?
Right.
And so instead of the people like all of the people who got their power from him, all the Blood Angels, the Vampire Space Marines, they have like they're a ticking time bomb. because they live forever because they're vampires.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But instead of getting future vision, they get his final future vision of him dying, right? In like a final battle, and eventually they get sucked into that vision and they go crazy and like become angry and like because they see everything as like the final battle.
Right.
And
And
so it's like the guys who just eat people for fun don't have that problem.
they're because
It's
they're
like if
just
you restrain their bloodthirst for too long as vampires, they eventually go crazy until they die.
right. Oh, everybody loves him. He's dead. It's like, like everybody would a guy that everybody loves would be psychic PTSD. That's a good way to put it. But like the
Yeah, they
vampires
all
that,
have like space PTSD, and
except
like
for the
if they
vampires
get
that
pulled
are
into it,
snacking.
yeah. And their leader is just an old guy,
I like
a
old men.
really fucking old guy.
I like old
Uh,
men.
so okay, you know how like I said they're vampires and they don't age.
Hmm.
It turns out that vampires do age. It's just
Oh
that with the
shit.
whole like you go crazy and die thing, no, none of them have ever lived so long that they start showing signs of aging.
So it's
He's gone
just a
so long
really slow aging
without getting,
process.
yeah, they just age really slow. And he's lived so long that he started getting old and he's really depressed.
Sad
He's just
old
like,
vampire man. I
he's
could.
just a sad old man.
Is this the one you said I thought I would? That you said I was gonna want to fix?
Yes, I thought you would like this guy.
I God, you know me so flipping well. I'm
Yeah,
such a
he's a
cliche.
sad old man and like he wears a mask because there's he has like he sees a prophecy
Yeah.
where somebody in that mask and like that armor is going to like sacrifice themselves for someone else, and he doesn't want anyone else to have to die if he can be the one to die there, and like that's what keeps him going. That if he doesn't live long enough to be that sacrifice, somebody else is going to have to be.
And he's just
He's
gonna never.
just a good boy with a pure
He's
heart.
just never gonna die, and he probably hasn't. Oh God,
That's the
guys,
thing.
that's right in my
There's this
strike
scene.
zone. Fuck.
No, there's this scene, and it's heartbreaking, where it's like he gets cut open, and he's on the ground, he's bleeding out, and like while the doctors are taking him back, right, he sees, the afterlife, and he sees Vampire Dad come up, and he's like, Vampire Dad puts a hand on his shoulder, and he goes, "Is it finally time? Can I go home? Can you take me with you?" And he says,
No.
"No, sorry, you have to go back and be alive again." And he
Oh
starts
no.
crying
Oh my
because he
God.
does not want to go
That
back.
is so sad.
It's so sad.
It's okay because I could
And
take
now he's like the vice president. Okay.
Even worse, he has
He just
responsibilities.
keeps getting promoted and having more shit to do.
Oh my
And he's too
God.
old for it.
I got again right across my strike zone.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that he's crying is a big deal in lore. That makes sense because they don't really do the whole
Awesome.
crying thing.
Then do the what?
The whole crying thing. I feel like that's not a typical Space Marine thing to do. Just be boohooing.
Yeah, no, he's the vampires are very in touch with their emotions. Which is nice. There's
And they pay for it with their sanity.
yes, they pay for it. There's like a group of them where their thing is that they're really nice and they just keep fucking losing. Like every battle they go in, they're famous for like there's only like there's supposed to be 1,000 of them. There's like 10 at any given time because every time they go into a battle, they all make noble sacrifices and die.
Oh my God, this is so sad.
Their icon is like a bleeding heart
What?
because they're good
Somebody
boys.
said ask him about the Lamenters. Is that them?
Yeah, the Lamenters. They're just good boys who
And
are trying so hard.
the universe hates them for it.
Uh, but what you get, and like this is a game where it's like everybody's evil. But the Lamenters, they're just trying their best, and what you get, see, in exchange for getting to play the good guys, you have to paint. So okay, the Lamenters wear yellow with like black and white checkers, and there's this thing: checkers are hard to paint. Don't paint checkers. And yellow is hard to paint because back in the day, there were good yellow paints. Unfortunately, all good yellow paints contain lead.
This is amazing.
So we just kind of have to deal with the fact that yellow is a bitch to paint.
This is amazing. Like, so back in the day, it's like you were punished for playing the good guys in the setting by getting
Yes,
cancer.
with lead poisoning.
Based.
We've got werewolves. I think
Are the
Ace
werewolves also
plays
sad?
these. No, the werewolves they're kind of assholes, actually.
That's good. I don't want everybody to be sad. That would just be sad.
Yeah. Werewolves, they're just kind of like dude bros who are kind of dicks.
So like a
Who
frat.
like bully nerds. Yes. They get together and they drink. They're like
Vikings.
werewolf Vikings.
Base.
And they like ride giant wolves, and their leader was raised by wolves, and they think wolves are cool.
This is so fun.
Another thing is that they just kind of run at you real fast.
They probably go, ooh.
They go awoo. There's this really cool lore theory that's been like implied in books where the wolves that they ride are not actual wolves. They are people who got stuck after turning into wolves, and they turn so wolf that, like, you know how in Animorphs, if you Animorph too hard, you can't go back.
Like there's
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yes. And like they're kind of mean. They're actually the reason why the goodest boy of the like Emperor's 20 kids turned bad because they bullied him for being a nerd.
That's amazing.
And they're also like hypocrites. They're like, magic is bullshit and wrong and witchcraft and evil. What we do is not magic.
Right.
We're consulting the rune spirits, which are not magic. The rune spirits are not magic. Very different.
I guess that's two totally different things.
Yes. They're like, no. Wizards and sorcerers are completely fucking different. Okay? A druid is not a wizard. They're different. But they turn into like werewolves. They've got a curse with that. It's pretty cool. You've got shoot. The other ones aren't as interesting as those two. There's the blue guys who are on the box.
The main guys.
They don't they're on the box and they don't do that much different. But they also have a depressed old guy.
But not as hot as the vampire depressed old guy, I'm assuming.
No, because so the thing is, when you turn into a vampire, it also turns you into a twink. Because like if you get turned into like when you get your vampire powers, it like changes the way you like develop when you're young, and so it just like makes it so that when you become an adult, you're just like, yeah, you're a pretty boy. So they got this guy. He is one of the two kids of the Emperor who stayed loyal, that is playable in the game,
and that's why he gets to be
and like alive. This is a recent lore thing. He was in a coma for a long time, and then they broke him out to increase sales. But their thing is that they're right. The other two guys I've shown you, they like melee. These guys are all rounders. The all-roundiest all-rounders.
That sword is fucking sick, boy.
It's awesome.
It's pretty
okay.
Sick.
There is exactly one weapon that can perma-kill a demon. Demons will like reform if you kill them. unless you kill them with that specific sword. It's the only one that can do it.
Actually, do you want to join the call? One of my friends wants to join the call. Do you guys say, do you care? Are you okay
Yeah,
with
that's
that?
awesome.
Hold on just a second, because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'd have to set up another room for it because we're just on call. So while I do that on
Mm-hmm.
Discord, continue while I
Yeah.
figure out my
So
Discord
he's like,
cookies.
he wakes up from the era where things were better into like the time of evil space dystopia and goes, wow, this shit sucks, man. But my dad's also the emperor, so I guess I'm in charge now. And he's like, he's good at using Microsoft Excel. That's what he's good at. That's his power. Uh, and he's kind of like, he's overworked and sad, and he has an elf girlfriend, and that's cool. Uh,
Oh,
there's like,
he's dating an elf.
yeah,
Is he not racist?
he's not racist. That's his thing.
That's odd.
He's dating. Okay, I know people have mentioned it. I'm sure somebody's gonna say it because the elf is also she has a model, and her like the base her model is on is an oval because she's so caked up.
Nice. Elf real
Like let
fast.
me,
Let's
and also she
go.
has like a long flowy dress. Also, she has a fun pet cat.
Oh. Oh yeah, she didn't gotta say yeah.
But
She was cool. I really like the outfit and the sword and the
no, she's
cat
awesome.
and the headband. It's pretty fresh.
Yeah. So okay, we've got the Dark Angels who are Space Marines but angry, or but emo. Sorry, they're like, ooh, half of us turned traitor back in the day, and they're like, we've got to hide it and hunt them down, and kill anybody who finds out. And so nobody else knows about their like emo dark secret, so they just think they're kind of weird because like they'll be in the middle of something and they just like leave to do other shit. Because it's like, oh, we found out about the guys that we're really after, and they just leave. So people think they're kind of assholes.
You said they're not so. You're gonna say they're not so dank now that their dad's awake again. I do like that this. I like this color. It's very clean. It's a very clean coloring job. It's not like something. It's not something I would personally pick if I was going for. Oh, this is my aesthetic. It definitely would not be this, but it looks good.
Yeah, there are. Yeah. So okay, then there are like, oh right, they're fine now. Their dad got back up. They have a dilf. Uh, he's around. He's got a shield. He used to be kind of the biggest asshole, but now he got old and he's cooler now. They have this guy.
This does look
This
really
is
cool. And his what are these? Holding up his shit. It's cool to think he's got a guy just hold
oh
up his shit. By the way.
oh my god. He's got they're little magic forest spirits, uh, who are like really fucking strong. We don't know what the deal with them is. They don't fight or anything. They're just funny little guys who hang out around him and like do chores. Nobody's ever seen what they look like underneath the robe. They're just little guys. There may not be anything under there. Somebody like tried to look and they just like poofed out of existence.
I love that.
They're
I
like
think
little
that's cool.
eldritch gods who are just like little funny guys who
They're
like walking
short stacks
around
in
and
fan
like
cannon. Who doesn't love a short stack? We love short stacks.
they're just funny little guys walking around under there. Uh got the Black Templars who are like regular Space Marines but with anger issues. They're the only so okay. Space Marines are one of the few groups in the Empire that's like they don't think the Emperor is a god because they like the Emperor told them not to. The Templars just believe it. They drank
Right.
the Kool-Aid. Um, and
Are you?
their thing.
Can I? Then can I just call you? Or Like, I
Mhm.
don't know if you're busy or whatever, because I'm just on Discord and I don't really have my collab server set up yet, and I don't want to fuck with Discord all like that while I'm trying to like. I,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
you
it's
could make a group DM and we could call in that.
shit. Okay, hold on. Let me just do that then. I'm just so I'm the person that just gets invited to stuff. I don't put in effort. This is why I'm not a big streamer because I'm so fucking lazy. Oh, that's sick.
No, uh, it's how Scuff is created, and Scuff makes better
I
streams.
am the
Consider
better
that.
clown. I am the biggest clown there ever was. Okay, so are we even technically friends? I have to put the friend your ass. Okay, there we go.
Mhm. But they're like edgy and gritty, but like in a fun way. Like painting wise, that people paint them like gritty, but they're fun because they're just kind of assholes, and you don't have to like pretend that you're the good guys.
Right.
They're like,
They
oh, I
look.
know, let's
They,
use children as bait. They have no interest in protecting anybody. They just want to kill the enemy, and they're just kind of like dicks.
I love that. Okay.
So they're fun.
Okay. So I am going to hop off this call you both
Mhm.
back, and then we will continue. We will continue talking about whatever the fuck is going on here. This is so edgy. This is like about as edgy as anything I can imagine.
Oh, they're so edgy.
Okay. Yeah, just.
They're just mean. Let's see.
Okay, so we're trying again, chat. Hold on.
Hello.
Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Okay, there we go. I think everybody's on.
Hi.
Got everything muted. Am I gonna have to handle sound leveling? Zed, are you there?
Hello.
Okay, I'm about to say,
Hello.
I'm like, pick up Godzilla. Come the fuck on. All right, now tell me about the Templars. Like,
Okay.
these are your
No,
people.
before we
Yeah.
get to the Templars, we have to talk about the Imperial Fist. So the Imperial Fist Legion, held by the Primarch Rogel Dorn, are one side of the siege, and
They wear
fortified
yellow and are
siege.
boring.
Fuck you.
I collect them. I'm allowed to say it. They wear
Okay, so,
yellow and are boring and build things.
to explain the Imperial Fist, we have to also talk about the Iron Warriors. So, the Imperial Fist and the Iron Warriors, they're the two legions that were the siege legions. But unfortunately, the Emperor used the Imperial Fist for defense, and he used the Iron Warriors as the offense and stuff. And the Iron Warriors took this really personally because they wanted a chance to shine. But like, hey, we want to build castles too. It's like, no, you're going to tear down the castles. But we want to build. No, you're going to tear shit down. And that little rivalry went on. So you had the evil siege guys and you had the good siege guys. Now with the Imperial Fist, uh, we'll talk about the second founding later. Now the Imperial Fist, when the after the Horus Heresy, after the Space Civil War, the Primarch of the Imperial Fist wasn't too keen on the edicts coming from the Primarch of the Ultramarines. So like the blue guy you saw earlier, the big blue
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Okay, so
He
with the
said,
Horus Heresy, uh, Gilliman, he wanted to break down the legions because the legions were fuck off huge, and the Civil War fucked shit up. So his idea was, okay, if we isolate all these superhumans into smaller groups, if a small group goes rogue, it's easier to control as opposed to an entire legion. You with me so far?
That makes sense.
Okay, so in terms of the Imperial Fist, Rogodorn's like, no, I'm not breaking up my legion. Fuck you. But some of his sons were like, no, Dad, he actually does have a point. So the Imperial Fist Legion almost had a civil war where some wanted to be like, yeah, wait, let's break up, and the uh, chapter we started this conversation on, the Black Templar was like, fuck the blueberry and fuck his book. We want to crusade and kill shit. It's like, wrong. So,
Oh yeah, they break the rule that says you're only allowed to have 1,000 Marines together. They just don't care.
yeah, so no, actually, the loophole for them is genius. Okay, so to explain,
Did you say G's
So-
or
We don't have to
G's?
explain too in depth because
no,
we're going
no,
over like a
no,
brief
no.
overview because we want to get to every faction and like go
Okay.
over what is the cool shit to collect.
I just want to explain this one little thing though. Oh fuck, my train of thought. Okay, so the logic of breaking down the Space Marine chapters to control a lot more easy, so the heresy never happens again, and the loophole for the Black Templars is actually ingenious. Like the Black Templars, like the angry attack, kill Crusader guys. Like they're like the angry paladins. But the loophole that they established was very ingenious, and the loophole was the rules for chapter building goes out the window if you are on a crusade. So, like, you need bodies on the battlefield. Do what you need to do. So the loophole was we're just not going to stop fighting.
Yeah.
I find that funny.
If we're
Crusade
always fighting,
forever.
because it's like you're allowed to go over the limit. It's supposed to be like you can
For
have
wartime
1,000
and stuff,
guys,
right?
but you can go. Oh, sorry, I
Is that
can't
like the,
hear you.
I'm sorry. For like wartime and stuff like that, that's supposed to be the rule.
Yeah, it's like if you're in a fight, you can go a little bit over the limit as a treat, so that if people die, you can have some more guys to replace them. And they said, okay, we're gonna go a little over the limit by like 10 times.
Well, no. Anytime anyone finds out the actual number, they mysteriously die. That's what
That's true.
happens.
Yeah. Eh,
That's accounting, baby.
yeah. They probably don't pay their taxes. So they get mad and they like evade taxes.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I love tax evaders.
Probably illiterate because they hate the space book.
That's true. They hate reading. They are the jocks of Warhammer, okay? Even more than the Space Wolves. The Space Wolves read so that they can, like, ignore things. The Black Templars just don't read.
Nice, nice, nice.
They choose not to read, even.
Who needs
Okay, I
it?
said my piece. We can move on with the regularly scheduled explanations. I'll pipe up as needed.
Yeah. So, okay. Let's talk about repressed Catholic trauma.
Hell yeah. We love religious trauma.
So the church has the Sisters of Battle because basically a long time ago they said, let's separate the church from the military. The church may have no men, may have no armed
is that
men.
baby?
Oh yeah, they like grow to like cherubs in old paintings.
Yeah.
They grow babies in test tubes to be like
Understandable.
to give robot brains so that
Okay,
they
just
can
to-
like be cherubs.
Uh,
They're like
just to explain-
cyborgs.
Yeah, just to explain it for Trixie. So Trixie, historical backstory for some of the 40K universe. Like during the golden age of humanity, we had like AI, like robots, like pure sentient AI of
Yeah,
robots.
AI like actual AI.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then we fought against them and said no more AI.
Yeah, like the Terminator movies happen, and they're like, okay, we can't do this again.
Never again.
But here's the funny thing with the Imperium: it's all about loopholes. Much like the Black Templars, they had their loophole. The Mechanicus, like we'll get them eventually. Like the robot boys, have their loopholes. Like, okay, we can't make pure AI.
Let's put a brain in a jar.
Brain in a jar.
Like your thermostat, there's a little guy in there. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Like if you want to change the temperature in your house, there's a little guy in there, and you like poke him, and then he turns down the temperature for you.
No, you can't poke him. You have to keep him happy. The machine spirit has to be happy.
That's true, right? You also have to give him a chocolate bar.
You have to do all
and
the
then he
sacred
will
rites.
turn down. Yes, the sacred rites of like how to use a computer. There's like everything is just like powered by brains in jars and shit. And they like have they have to pet their guns and stuff, and like tell their guns compliments so that they'll shoot good.
That's amazing.
Because like all machines are, they believe that there's a magical spirit inside every machine, and you have to treat it kindly, and that's true. Have you ever worked with a printer?
Yes, printers just hate us
The
all.
only way to make a
They
printer
want us
work is
dead.
either to threaten it with death or be very kind.
Yeah, but the funny thing is with the 40K universe is the fact that everything runs off belief. The machine spirit is actually real.
Yeah.
I mean, I can believe that.
Yeah. I believe it now. Okay. I've done enough IT to know all machines are alive. But the Sisters of Battle, their aesthetic is like nuns but with guns. And they have like crazy over the top church themed stuff. Like let me find it. They have a tank that has a pipe organ on the back that shoots missiles, and it's fucking awesome.
Praise the Lord.
Tell her about the repenters.
Oh yeah, right. And if you sin, they take away your guns and armor and give you a big fuck off chainsaw, and just make you run it down. And if God forgives you, you'll live. And if you don't, you die redeemed. And if you're not a sister and you do a crime, right? Let's say you're a shoplifter, okay? Imagine, if you will, you're a shoplifter. They strap you in an Iron Maiden with robot legs on it,
That's so hot.
and then you run forward and kill shit. And they like pump you full of chemicals that make you like feel bad about your crime so that you'll go repent
That is
by
so
killing.
amazing.
Uh,
They made
me pull up the
Catholicism
picture.
metal.
Yeah.
It's so based.
It's
Surprisingly enough, the Sisters of Battle aren't the premier BDSM faction.
That's true. There's two other ones.
Oh yeah, let's fucking go. Tell me
We got
about
three here.
let's just skip to the BDSM factions for a little bit. We'll
Okay.
skip a little bit forward. Just
Do you want the
for
BDSM humans or the BDSM elves?
either, both. You like.
Okay,
I'm going a little out of order here, but
let's talk elves. So basically, you know how I mentioned that the elves made Slanesh, right?
yeah.
When that happened, so all elves go to hell. This is a thing, right? You know, like how you can tell your firstborn,
no.
they go to super hell.
No, not even
Like
that.
worse than the hell normal people go to.
Okay, so when when the elves murder fucked Slanesh into existence, its birth pretty much changed the fundamental laws of reality in that instead of all souls go to Soul Land, but when the Slanesh was born, all souls go into her tummy.
Wow.
And you get like tortured forever. So there's two kinds of elves. There are the elves that like put their souls in rocks so that they can like be safe after they die, and became like ascetics. And the elves who were like, let's just do BDSM and feed other people's pain to the god of sex and pain, so that we can be fine.
Right. So it's like some
And
are
they've got
just like, let's not be hurt, and the others are like, what if we just hurt other people?
yeah. What if we paid our hurting tithe through other people? And they've got like three sides. They use like poison weapons and they fly in pirate ships. You've got like, wait, it's not going on screen. Oh no.
Okay, Trixie, let me sales pitch you the Dark Eldar. Have you ever watched the Hellraiser movies?
Of course.
Okay, these guys are literally the Hellraiser faction.
Oh, we have such things to show you.
Yeah, this is the Cenobites faction.
Oh god, I fucking love the Cenobites. They probably should not have let me watch Hellraiser when I was like 9.
Yeah.
But here we are.
So that's their thing. There's also body horror guys who like make weird Frankenstein abominations.
But I also really like body
Yeah,
abominations.
so there's these guys called the homunculi, and they do weird fucking freaky science.
You
Like
know,
they make people into chairs and shit, and
this
their minions are a bunch of dudes without skin.
this is totally this is totally goes with my bit my
Yeah,
YouTuber bit.
their boss is like a fashion designer who makes clothes out of human skin.
Like Cruella, but kind of nicer
Yes,
than
like Cruella.
Cruella, because at least it's probably, is it babies or is it humans? Because if they wait till they're full grown
Well,
humor,
I
both.
mean, it depends. Babies are expensive because you need more babies per like square inch of
Exactly. That's
skin.
why what Cruella did was stupid. Because if you just skin dogs, you would at
Let
least
them
have a
get
whole
big.
dog. I'm just saying. What a
Yeah,
wasteful
like
lady.
the Dark Elder are also kind of like the Zenitsu from Vampire.
Oh, vampire. Oh, yes.
Yeah, like these guys are also the flesh crafters. Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
God, I need to actually play Vampire one day. It's like I have the source books. I've never played.
this used to be a guy.
I'm like a regular guy.
Yeah, that was just like a dude at one point.
And now he's beautiful.
Now he's awesome. So like you've got a lot of options with Drukari. You know, you've got your pirate ships that everyone can fly in. You've got your BDSM guys. You've got your body horror guys, and you have BDSM girls also. And you have hoverboards, and you have like poison.
They put all
And
these
motorcycles.
great things together. Like,
yeah. Actually, it just dawned on me that this here's the faction BB would belong to by default.
we gotta tell BB, like, yeah, we found your people.
And then there's also the new one that is similar, but they're like, these guys like sex and drugs. The Emperor's Children like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Okay.
Oh God, it gets better.
So you know how I said like there's some of the Space Marines that got evil, right?
Yeah.
These are, you know, the god that they like that these guys murder fucked into existence.
Yeah.
The followers of that god, they're called the Emperor's Children. They were called that when they were loyal, and now they keep calling themselves that sarcastically.
Right.
And they have the best Space Marine character of all time.
Which one? Are you talking Lucius or are you talking
Fabulous Bill?
Oh yeah, Fabulous Bill.
Is that the full name?
His name is Fabius Bile, but we all call him Fabulous Bill.
Fabulous Bill's a better name. I see why you call him that.
He has a literal pimp cane, so
he does.
Fabulous.
So you know the body horror guys from the Drukari?
Yeah.
He went to them to go learn to study, and he's like one of their best prodigies of their school.
Oh, nice.
Okay, now here's a little more context. He's a human, and he impressed them. Okay.
Yeah.
Every race in this in this universe is racist as fuck. The Dark Elder are really bad, and he is a human who impressed them with their own shit. It's like, oh my god, the monkeys evolved.
Right.
They were impressed.
Nice. Oh, is that the one you were talking about just dropped?
Yeah, the new ones. The one where like they have a new character who has like a power armor with a nipple ring on his power armor.
That's so great.
They're like so fucking over the top and
I see
fun.
a fucking pony. I see some some pink.
Oh yeah,
This is so good.
The humans have ponies. These guys are like, you see the big fucking snake guy?
Yeah.
That's one of the Emperor's kids.
Oh,
he got into some real freaky shit.
Oh man. They got out of they left school. They left the Bible study, got horny. And
yeah.
That's what happens when you have, preacher's kids.
Well, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because this particular Primarch is the only one who was confirmed to actually had wives, and since he was
true, he fucked. He's the only one who fucked.
And since he was an immortal god, he outlived all of his wives, and that kind of fucked him up.
Oh man, oh, sad.
You can fix him. I believe in you.
Hell yeah, I can fix anything.
I believe in you.
You'd have to compete with the space cocaine he's doing 24/7.
What do you
Oh
mean
yeah, that's
compete?
so okay.
I'm not gonna not do space coke if I have the opportunity. If somebody
So
handed
you
me a
know
line of
how
space coke right now, this
you know
trip would
how
be over.
that like some of the elves keep their souls in like rocks to keep them safe?
And did they snort them? Did somebody snort?
Yeah, he
Please
grinds them up
say.
and snorts them,
Oh
and it's
God,
awesome.
that's the
He's
best.
just fucking evil.
I
He's
love
like
it.
the best coke is made from like grinding up dead babies.
Oh my God, perfect.
Their thing is that like they want everything too much. You know, they play music real loud. They fuck. They do crack. It's awesome.
This is
Okay,
amazing.
okay, to be a little more generous to Slanesh, very basic, Slanesh is the god of excess, but
Yeah.
which usually gets mean to like sex, drugs, and
But
rock
there's
and
like
roll.
gluttony. There's like gambling.
So it's just like,
There's
but
vanity.
if we're being specific, if we're being like the actual like accurate thing is to
It's
like
kind
an
of like all
excess
of the
of
deadly
anything,
sins.
but
Yeah.
it generally just covers everything. So the typical too much anger, too much pride, too much all that good stuff.
You
If I'm
remember Polly
understanding.
from Monster Prom?
I do. My wife.
Imagine if she became a god.
My wife. My beautiful wife.
So like these are what their demons look like. You can play both Slanesh, like the mortal followers and the demons, and they're going to be in one book.
All right.
They can play them together. But they've also got some like freaky shit. Like they've got like centaurs with 1,000,000 nipples or something like that.
That's so fun. A million
The
nipples
meat
for like
heart,
a million rings.
the heart made of meat.
I know. Can we get like a tabletop model of the Damon Calabra?
No,
Oh man.
that's Iron Warriors actually.
I know.
But yeah, so like there's lady with a heart that's a man.
That's a guy. His heart.
It's like his heartstrings, literally.
That's so good.
Yeah, there's like
I feel like
there's a lot.
I feel like if I ever get to the 3.0 stage, I blame both of you for it's probably going to be horrific and wonderful.
Yeah.
My mind is
Peak.
like peak exactly. It's like, huh? Never thought about space coke before.
Yeah. Also, when you're like writing, because right, all of these, you get to make your own fucking OC, and that's what's fun about 40K. Okay. Because you get a kit where it's like build a character and you have a bunch of options and then you follow none of the instructions and you make your own shit. Slanesh has like really interesting possibilities for writing a character because you could make like, yeah, I worship like the sex pleasure god, but you know like Sessio and Kiara?
Yeah.
Where she's like wholeheartedly convinced this is a good thing.
Right.
The world is better this way. You could do like that, or you could be like unrepentant. I'm gonna grind up babies to make space cocaine.
As one does.
Yeah.
Okay, so now go into like what you were gonna originally tell me the next order was after the Space Marines. I just got caught up with BDSM.
Oh yeah. So after like the space church, there's just like regular fucking dudes.
But many
There's,
different
like-
flavors of regular dudes.
I think it's a
Yeah.
if I like flavor. Just tell me about the regular dude.
Like
Tell
you
me
know
about-
Star Trek red shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
Trix.
They're just little green army men.
Hey Trixie, have you ever wanted to play Rambo? Have you ever wanted to be like World
Yeah.
War One Germans? Have you ever wanted to be
They're French.
fucking?
There's World
Yeah,
War One
French.
guys. There's like Soviet guys. There's like just Rambo. His name
I
is
do like-
Marbo.
It's like I do like Rambo. I'm not one of those. I'm not like the historian person, obviously, but I do like Rambo, and I do think it's a great movie.
There's this guy named Marbo, and his gimmick is that he's Rambo.
No, but here's the thing: the planet he's from is pretty much like. Do you remember like all the jungle scenes from Predator? It's pretty much
Yes.
that, but they're on
Yeah,
a
they
planet
live
scale.
there. And
the
so
entire
everybody
human
from there
Yeah, the whole
is like
human
this big,
population is
ripped
Rambo.
muscle beast.
Oh
Yes.
God.
It's a planet where everyone is Rambo. Their kits are old and like they don't look that good, but in a way where it's fun and goofy.
Yeah, it's like, but everybody's Rambo, so that makes sense that they
They're
got the
all ripped
newest
as
kids.
shit. Let me pull up.
This dude looks.
Here's an official art of them.
See, it's like this dude also looks cool as fuck, and almost even
He's
cooler
awesome.
in contrast to like some of the more like out
Oh,
there
because
designs.
that's just a guy.
He is just literally just some fucking guy.
He's
Absolutely.
just a guy with a gun and a knife.
Okay, I actually have to sales pitch Trixie on the whole it's just a guy thing. So going back to the Horus Heresy, okay, so when Sanguinius took the bullet, the psychic bullet for his
Vampire boy.
dad, yeah. So when the vampire angel boy took the psychic chaos bullet for dear old dad and stuff. During the whole fight scene, like
Between Horus and the Emperor.
I am here
Yeah,
learning about Warcraft. I mean, not Warcraft. That's a whole different Warhammer.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sanguinius dead. Horus has an emperor on the ropes, and he's like, "Whoa, I'm gonna." He's like, "Dad,
I'm gonna kill you, Dad."
And then just a regular guardsman, no name, just random guy, fuck the retcons. A random guy just says, "No, for the Emperor," and takes the psychic mind bullet for the Emperor, and that gives him the second win of like, like humanity, fuck yeah.
Yeah, just some guy runs into the big final battle, shoots a normal gun at like the big bad guy. It doesn't do anything and he gets splatted.
But he did it.
But it buys a second.
And that was the eternal rallying cry for the regular Joe Schmo humans.
I do.
You could be like him.
I do love me a good regular Joe Schmo human as well.
Yeah, they're very much the underdog.
And also, they look so cool. Like, look at these guys. Like,
yeah.
Emperor bless them.
I will say, on the table, they're built around. You have a lot of guys that kind of suck. And then you stack buffs. You have a lot of them, and you stack a bunch of buffs to make them good.
Look at them! I love them. That's how
they're so fun.
Look at them, just like it's so good.
Yeah.
The fan name for the Imperial Guard, which is the regular dudes, is affectionately known as the Wall of Guns.
Yeah. You just they are one of the more expensive armies to collect. In terms of how many points you get out of a box, because you throw a lot of guys on the board, and they just kind of you roll a lot of dice, and they might do something.
Okay, here's the sales pitch. This is the Imperial Guard is the human faction horde army.
Yeah, if you want to just have a lot of stuff. They're good for that.
I do like stuff. I do like underdogs. Oh man, decisions. We'll see.
Okay. We've got freaky robot body horror.
Okay, I do like a freaky robot. I like a lot of things.
It took me a second of which one, but it was okay, the big one.
Yeah. All of these things that I'm about to show you used to be people.
Yeah.
They're just not anymore.
But they were.
It's these are guys who are I think that being a human sucks because you get old and die.
Oh, so
you know what's better than getting old and dying? Being made of metal.
True, but oh god, there's.
And they have a funny little iron giant, but with the brain in a jar.
This is cool. Oh god, there's a word
and
for it.
People paint funny smiley faces on them. Yeah.
Yeah, Trixie, you've seen the meme of from the moment I understood the weakness my flesh had disgusted me.
Yes.
You've seen that.
That's from these guys.
That's these guys.
Nice. Yeah, so
they have
a guy.
Dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
They have dudes where you replace your arms with guns and your legs with tank. and you roll around and you shoot shit. And they like you're almost like playing a necromancer's horde where like you've put like obedience chips in your dude's brain and you're like the one scientist who orders everybody around. You've like replaced all of the parts of their brain that do things other than like
shoot,
attack or whatever. They're evil, okay? Like you just take a guy, you cut off all his body parts and replace them with robot parts.
Nugget Maxing, let's fucking go.
Yippee! Yeah. Oh my god. They have a sniper whose legs are replaced with stilts.
That's so funny. That's
He's
so funny.
fucking hilarious.
That's so funny because it's so unnecessary. You just did that just because you
It's
could do
so
it.
fucking stupid in the best way.
Like, you didn't have to make somebody's legs into stilts. You just did.
He just looks like that now. He can't go back.
Okay, so also some more lore backstory in the Mechanicus. Since they control all the machines, they also they control the Gundams, by which I mean the Titan Legions. So
Oh yeah, they have big robots.
You want the giant robots? These are the guys.
I do like giant robots.
I guess that's a good pivot into Knights. Oh right,
Yeah,
in game,
he insisted.
in game, these guys are robots. Okay, they're very complicated.
You missed the
very
Imperial Knights
complicated.
section, I think.
Yeah, so the Imperial Knights are
Or
big
they
robots.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Listen. I listen and learn.
Big robot. And they're like Ren Fair LARPers, okay, who got robot suits. So a long time ago, when humanity was first going to space, a bunch of guys at a Ren Fair, okay, decided to all pool their money together and buy a planet, okay?
Love that so
And they kept doing their Ren Fair LARPing there. Except eventually, after many generations of Ren Fair LARPing, they forgot that they were LARPing and devolved into real feudalism. And so now the noble lords and noble families get big fucking robots.
Just
and they're
to explain
awesome.
to Trix, I just want to explain to Trix. So Trixie, the beauty of the 40K universe is that it's so vast because during the golden age of humanity, we populated everything, and then when the magical space train got cut off, everyone was isolated for thousands and thousands of years and stuff. So if you want like a literal Westworld, you got it. You want King Arthur's court, but with giant mechs, this is what this is, and you can have all your different flavors of stuff, and it makes sense. Because it's just humanity had high technology, got cut off for a long time, and now here we are.
This is just what the fuck they did. This is just basically what happens when you cut like various types of people off for a long time. You get, Red Fair robots or, freaky, freaky humans.
Or you can have a planet that grows nothing but corn and it's filled with hobbits.
Oh yeah, the corn world.
Oh, the corn world isn't a bit.
It's not.
No, it's just like that's where corn comes from. They have a planet who's dedicated to like making wax candles out of people. Where it's just like its goal is to just like churn out as many people as possible, and whenever they die, you turn them into candles.
Yeah, so during the golden age of humanity, like everything was hyper specialized. You had like you had a farm planet, you had your factory planet, you had your mobile planet, you had a planet for everything. And then when the transportation network got cut off and stuff, we were like, fuck, we can make all the guns, but we have no food. Or like, we can make all the food, but we have no guns. Fuck.
And that becomes a problem when like orcs show up. Orcs are funny little guys. They're funny little green mushroom guys.
I have heard of the orcs.
With British accents, and they go wee. But at Knights, Knights are cool if you want a painting project and own an airbrush.
Ironically enough, I do own an airbrush.
Perfect. There's a lot of factions that just opened up to you. Right. Because big robots are really fucking cool, but airbrushes are great for them.
Right.
Knights are like, that model's like 6 inches, like 9 inches tall, and you play like 4 of them, and that's your army. And their mechanics are like, oh, you have a quest. You choose a quest at the start of the game, and you get a bonus when you complete it.
Oh, that's so charming. I'm gonna need
I know.
more
They're like,
money.
you're just playing like a TTRPG
I'm
at the
so
enemy.
upset because I was literally talking about I hope I don't end up getting into this and spending money. But now
Well,
I
no,
probably am.
no, we mentioned it earlier in my server, and I back up the sentiment. You do not spend $1 on this here. You can find a lot of like books and online content
Yeah.
without having to give a single cent. And honestly, if unless you're made of money, you probably would have more fun playing some of the video games and reading some of the books.
Right. Because it's
I I'm gonna disagree with that. There
mm,
are factions you can play with like or game formats you can play that don't involve spending that much, and it's like it's a fun thing. For me, it's like I'll buy a kit and I'll get my like 30 hours out of painting it. And I think it's worth, you know?
yeah, I can see both sides of it. Like for now, I probably won't immediately jump
Yeah.
into buying like a full kit because
Yeah.
I'm unfortunately, ugh,
If
saving.
if I dodged buying the introductory kit for Necrons in 2003, you can dodge the introductory kit of anything in 2025.
Right. Like eventually
It's like
this the other reason, big streamer. Yeah, I get to be a big enough streamer and I'll find an audience to buy this shit for me anyway.
yeah. No, I see like other VTubers start 40K and then it's like they open their throne and suddenly there's a million kits at their door. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, not to, like again, I think I've talked to this like before, like last time. It's like I'm not really to the point where I'm comfortable asking for money yet because I don't
Yeah.
think like that I
No,
have the
I get
value
that.
factor. But damn, it sure would be nice to do just get like just be given stuff, you know.
The biggest skill any Warhammer player can get is being a bargain hunter. I, for one, have learned all about getting shit for cheap on Facebook Marketplace.
I heard Facebook
If you
Marketplace is pretty good in general.
you know
So
my secret, you know my crazy fucking secret.
what is it?
I got so much for like $20 from a guy who converted to Mormonism and was selling off all of his sinful items.
Oh, we gotta find somebody that's getting real. Gotta
You
find.
need to find somebody who was into 40K and is now into Mormonism.
Oh hell yeah! Or maybe I can
I have
convert
so many
you.
elves that I got for so little money.
What if I convert someone so I can get
Go to
their
your local
market?
game store and start spreading the Book of Mormon.
Exactly.
No. What you do is you buy your buddy a ticket. It's like, okay, here's a ticket to Salt Lake City. You'll thank me later.
Is converting to somebody for the sole purpose of getting their Warhammer collection, is that evil? Or
It
is it
depends
good?
how much they get out of it. Like, and also, like, if you were converting them to Scientology, maybe. But, like, Mormonism's not that bad.
It's not
All
that.
things considered.
It's like, but I wouldn't be a believer.
You wouldn't be,
I would
yeah, you
just
wouldn't
be
be doing it for
somebody.
the right reasons. But, maybe, what if the Mormons are right and you save their soul?
I mean, if the Mormons are right, I saved their soul, but I'm fucked.
True.
But then again, I'll have cheap Warhammer stuff, so would it
Yeah,
matter?
but you'll have cheap Warhammer.
That's what matters in the end, really. Is there any
Exactly.
more meet Robo guys? Are there
Yes.
are there
So,
are they Robo Femboys? I don't know. There's this one
Yeah.
yes.
artist that is like all I forgot like this one.
Oh, yeah, the
word
Robo
is.
Femboys, those are the AdMech that I showed earlier.
Oh, okay.
They, on the table, they are, unfortunately, the most expensive faction to collect.
Because they're goddamn femboys.
Because it's like, you just don't get that much in a single box.
Yeah.
But, like, let me find, Archon of Flesh is a user. Of Flesh.
Oh, no. I know who Archon of Flesh is. I follow them.
Yeah. Archon of Flesh is an AdMech player.
They put me on to some things.
Okay.
Those are pretty good though. But you're saying they're pretty pricey for what you get out of them.
However, if you have a friend with a 3D printer, there is nothing wrong with printing AdMech.
Would you believe that I do?
Woo! It's time to collect AdMech.
It's like my only talent in life. I'm not really particularly good at anything, but I know a guy.
You're good at so many things.
I'm good at knowing so many guys.
Yeah.
Not
Like,
is this is like the fucking war poster. We want you.
yeah.
To get your.
This is
today.
Archon's
I mean,
AdMech art.
It would sell me.
Yeah. And so AdMech, they're also friends with the Titans, who are. That's a project for later because they're like 3 feet tall.
Right.
And very expensive, but they're cool. Okay, they're just big robots. There's also another tech faction. We're gonna zoom out a bit into aliens, because you know how I mentioned Fish Guy Gundams?
You did.
Okay, if you're going to talk
about
time, I'm going to take a break and be back in a bit.
All right, we'll be here.
Let's talk about Gundams.
I love Gundams.
I think these guys are fucking awesome.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty much just
They go fast, like gameplay. Yeah, gameplay wise, they go fast. They shoot guns. They don't have very good melee, except for one guy who does melee. They have exactly one guy. You can't take multiple of him because he's a specific guy.
Right.
And he's based on Chara's novel from Gundam.
Of course.
And he has a sword.
The guy.
He wears red and he has a sword.
He's a fucking Char clone because every
yes, because you can't have mecha without him.
Exactly. Every good mecha universe has to have a fucking Char clone. It's in the Bible.
Yes. It is. And this is him, and he's cool as shit.
Oh my god, that thing's so sick.
He has so these guys, the little fish guys inside the mechs, they only live like 30 or 40 years.
Right.
He's like 200, and he does not know why he hasn't died. And the reason why is...
leave the mech?
Yes, they can get out of the mech.
Okay.
You can have guys who are just like on foot, if you want. But his magic sword, the sword he found, whenever he kills somebody with it, all of the life they would have lived gets added to his.
Oh my god.
And he doesn't know this. And it's been said that if he found out, he would get really sad.
Aww.
And maybe do seppuku.
That's actually even better.
He's a good boy. But the Tau, their thing is that they're like not that bad. They're like kind of evil. But like in the way that like America is evil. They're like, we're gonna spread freedom and democracy to the whole galaxy, whether they like it or not.
As one does.
With our Gundams.
I mean,
Space Gundams, yes.
I mean, if you have a Gundam...
No, they're specifically based on America.
I mean, if you have a fucking Gundam, then you can do that.
Yeah.
I don't even really consider that.
I would join you, easy.
Like, what I'm saying is America needs to get a Gundam. Like, the fuck?
I have said, as a mathematician, I would never make weapons unless they have legs. If I can make a mech, I'll do it. I'll throw away all of my morals and build robots.
I mean,
I would like to keep my balls though.
Do they cut off their balls?
Yeah.
No,
so
there's one guy. This is an old lore retcon thing.
Thank you so much. 30 months is fucking insane. The fact that I've been doing this is fucking insane, and the fact that you've been subbed for 30 months. Mwah, love you.
But like, there was an old lore thing where they said like, oh, the humans that joined couldn't reproduce or whatever. But that's like an old lore thing, and they said like, it's been retcon. One guy did that, and they like sent him to prison forever for it.
But you don't want to take the risk of getting your balls cut off either, though. So that's understandable.
I think counterpoint. Unlike the Empire, you get food. So the Empire doesn't want you to know this. If you join them, you get food that isn't made of other people.
So I made the sales pitch, the Trixie, on a funny little thing. So the Tau are very they're very good for technology because like they're the young spry race in the galaxy now. Like they're all full of piss and vinegar with the science and technology. But
Everybody else has
unfortunately,
peaked and is going downhill. The Tau are the only ones who have not peaked yet.
that's not where I'm going with this. Where I'm going with this, unfortunately, this here isn't Star Trek. This is 40K, and magic is a thing. So
True, they
the
don't know what
Tau,
magic is.
they don't know what magic is. They're
They think
very
it's weird science they don't get yet.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, they have a fuck ton, I mean a fuck ton of humans in their empire. And humans are magically psychic. And since the Tau don't have a psychic presence in the like, since they don't believe in magic and they're not really
They can't do it.
They can't do it. But since humans can, and the humans like day in and day out in the Tau Empire, like they hear the greater good, the greater good, the greater good. It's like, oh, the greater
They
good
just think
is
the
just
greater good is the name of a god. And so they made up a god into existence that is the greater good. And so now they made a new god. This happened like a year ago in lore. This is new development.
No, but here's the funny part: the Tau who realized what happened became immediately racist against humans because oh god, this is bad. This is bad. Kill all the humans. We can't let this happen again.
That's a fair response to that.
However, no, the group that did that got exiled. Now, some of them are coming around to this new god. Like, there's a character who's like Shadow Sun, who's like childhood friends with Char XP, and you know they're very angsty about that.
Of course,
because they have crushes on each other, but now they're enemies. Who is like the first like prophet of the new god, and it's like the one god that's kind of decent and cool.
I mean, I guess because you know the greater good.
Yeah, it's just the god of like being chill vibes.
This is so cool. This is so cool. I'm like,
I'm
so
a
little
cool.
Kitty.
Yeah, like pretty much the Tau god that the humans made is pretty much the Buddha.
Oh, that's
dope. Because they're like the Tau are the least racist. They just have a bunch. They're like all of the other people who aren't like humans or elves. Some humans join them, and so it has like a million pairs of arms, one from each of the species.
That's cool too. Oh my god.
It's very poetic.
But yeah, they've got this, and it's awesome. I think they're really cool.
So are they like is like the faction generally like it's like America but also Japan? Like as far as how the social structure is?
They're like they were specifically built around like Cold War NATO.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and
so like we are gonna spread democracy.
Trixie, you know the Char character he's talking about? Have you ever watched Seven Samurai? That's literally it. It's like his faction is the Seven Samurai.
Oh, I'm aware of it. If I have watched it, it's been a long time, so I'm probably gonna watch it again.
Yeah, so him and his 6 buddies pretty much went rogue from the main
his
empire.
7 buddies.
Yeah, so it's literally 7 samurai. They went rogue and they're like, no, we're more about like individuality and standing up for the common man and not this, you know,
let me make sure
empire crap.
Let me make sure Seven Samurai is the thing I think it is the story I think
okay,
it is.
Seven Samurai was a Kurosawa film, and the Americans remade it as the Magnificent Seven.
Oh yeah, I know both those stories. Like a group of guys, a village needs them. A group of guys like goes to protect it.
Yeah.
Shit goes pear shaped.
Yep.
They have winning by outraging everyone with drones and Gundams. And thank God for that, really. Fucking good.
Yeah.
Well, here's the main thing with the Farsight and his buddies and stuff. Like, Farsight's
that's red guy.
Yeah, the red guy. The red guy's mentor, pretty much. The powers that be, pretty much. Cloned him like into like a robot body, and they made him like Cortana. They made him into Cortana for all the military leaders, and the red guy was like, "This is fucked up. He wouldn't have wanted this kind of thing."
Yeah.
Right.
He's like Big Boss or something, or the boss from
Yeah,
Metal Gear
yeah,
or something like
yeah,
that.
that's a good
I
way of
should
putting it.
play those games.
I should also play those
This is
games.
my admission that I'm a fake gamer. I haven't played Metal Gear.
It's okay. I haven't either. I didn't even have a PlayStation until PlayStation 4, so.
Okay, wait. I can't even play the remakes, and you know why? They took away the best shit from the second Metal Gear. Okay?
They
You know what you
did.
could do in Metal Gear Solid 2? There's a secret cheat code that lets you skateboard,
You can't fucking
and they took it away in the
skateboard?
remake.
Why would
Yeah,
you?
it was called
Why,
snakeboarding, and you could go skateboarding.
why the fuck would they do that? Don't they like
And they
Because
hate
also
time
had an
that?
sucks.
Ape Escape crossover that was like a secret cheat code because the devs, Hideo Kojima wanted a Metal Gear thing his kids could play, so he did an Ape Escape crossover.
I'm sad now. That genuinely makes me sad. It's like you're taking the soul out of something.
I know.
And I
But
hate
in
when
the
things...
remake, in the 3DS remake, you could instead hunt Yoshi.
Well, that's also good. That's like
Like
that's a
in
good alternative.
yeah, there's a Yoshi in the jungle, and you can catch and eat him.
That's Yoshi is my favorite, like my main. So that's like wonderfully horrible or horribly wonderful.
Colonel,
I'm a
I've come
Yoshi
across this-
hater. Okay.
Colonel, I've come across this dinosaur. What do I do?
Okay, my favorite Metal Gear thing is that Snake is a Santa believer.
I mean,
Well,
I feel like that makes sense.
Well, yeah. Snake is a
I
child
saw-
soldier, so
I
he's
saw
kind
a
of
really
slipped.
sad theory that the reason, like, he kills his mom, and it's very tragic. And the reason, like, he thinks that the reason why he stopped getting presents from Santa, he never put two and two together. He just thinks that when he killed his mom, he became naughty. He got on the naughty list, and
Lives
nothing can ever
forever.
cleanse his soul.
Jesus fucking Christ. Let's go to another faction. Now I'm like sad over a character in the game
Okay.
I haven't even played yet. Like, damn, Snake. Somebody give this man a cigarette or something. Jesus Christ.
Let's talk about.
40K is supposed to be grimdark. Let's
Hey.
go back to something. Let's go back to something lighter, like
I feel
40K.
Go to something lighter,
let's
like,
go-
I feel like there's a faction I'm forgetting.
I think
Can't
maybe
remember from the Imperium. I just don't remember what it is.
that-
Oh yeah, the one I play, the one that I have a ton of.
Yes, let's do. Also, it's like, you know how it's like a certain number of deaths. One death is a tragedy, like 1,000 is a
Yeah.
statistic. It's like that. Like,
Yeah.
one guy being sad over the getting on a nine list forever is infinitely more sad than a bunch of people being used as meat grinders.
Then like a war.
Yeah. You know how it is.
Do you like the color gold?
I do like the color gold. As you can see.
Let's talk about gold.
Ooh.
This is the most affordable army in the game. I know because I picked it when I was a broke high school student.
Because
I
it's most
continued
affordable?
picking it as a broke college student. Yes,
What did they do?
because
They look
these
cool.
are the best, strongest dudes. Their thing is that they're the coolest motherfuckers.
Is that a fucking toga?
Yes, they have togas and like gun spears
I like both those.
and gun axes. And they wear big suits of gold armor where they're like invincible and shit, but there's not that many of them. There's 10,000 on the dot.
Does there always
and
have
they're
to be
like,
10,000 or
yeah. So they were the Emperor's bodyguards, and then the Emperor got on the chair, and they were just they wallowed and were sad for a while, until eventually they decided to go out and do shit, because they said, you know, what the Emperor really would have wanted us to do isn't to protect his body, it's to protect the humanity he loved.
No, you're skipping the sales pitch that will get Trixie interested. Hey, Trixie, for thousands of years they were naked.
Oh yeah, they were just like naked and oiled up. Yeah, they took off their armor because they felt they didn't deserve to wear their armor anymore out of shame for failing to protect the Emperor.
Oh my god.
Because if we couldn't protect him, why should we protect ourselves with armor?
Right,
So
it's
they
like
just
y'all
kind of
don't
like
deserve
walked
to.
around. They just walked around their giant house naked for 10,000 years.
Oh my god! But now they wear armor. Which
Now
is
they put pants back on. There was a
Trixie,
model for one.
Trixie, you have to. I have to put a sales pitch on this. I keep saying that. There's another half of this faction that's not really like the supermen. There's what's called the Sisters of Silence. They're these guys as battle nuns.
No,
And
they're more. They are immune to magic, and they just walk around being really scary. Because,
I'm going towards a joke. So for thousands of years, these big, like 10-foot tall, beefy men with their schlongs flopping around had women around looking at them like
custodies
all day.
There can be girl custodies now too.
Not canon.
Yes, it is. It is.
We're not gonna go with.
It's in the codex.
We're not gonna go whether the lady custodies are canon because I don't know if they exist or not. Because I'm just learning about it.
I have the book where they are.
So, but the point is, what were you saying about them all walking around?
Yeah, so for thousands of years, the mute psychic blanks ladies had these oiled up beefcakes walking around, and wouldn't you wish you could have been one of those Sisters of Silences for all those thousands of years?
God, right? Like, yeah.
And they're just kind of platonic friends.
There's one.
And now there's like one couple.
Not that. Why am I here? Just
they're 10 feet tall. Well, okay, actually, there's an intense debate in the Custodes community whether Custodes have big schlongs or not. Because, right, they're very Roman aesthetic, right?
I mean, yeah,
and they're supposed to be.
Think that small penis.
You know how like Roman statues had small dongs?
Yeah, because they thought
That's
it was more aesthetic.
Yeah. So the question is, because they were all handcrafted by the emperor, right? Like the only that you take a human soul and like you take like a human baby and you do like a bunch of weird magic shit. Mm-hmm. And the only reason you start with a human is because you can't make a new soul.
Right.
And then you just like make them, now they're like this 10-foot tall, big dude who's like really smart because the emperor had like lived since now and he wanted somebody who could understand his pop culture references. Like, he'll make a Big Bang Theory reference and nobody would get it because everybody who's seen the Big Bang Theory is dead.
It would still have to be pretty big in comparison because if it's like small for like.
Yeah, it's small for like a 6-foot guy, like, but he's like 10 feet tall. So that's like, if it's like 2/3 of the normal size, well, he's 2/3 bigger. So like.
So it would just be like it would be small for him, but still be like fuck ass huge though.
Yeah, it's small relatively, but like.
So are you saying they like hang? So the thing is like whether they're small relative or big relative to their size.
Yeah,
which is horrifying.
Yeah, because
I think.
Okay.
I think if it was big relative to their size, it wouldn't work.
Okay, but it's all a moot point because all the superhumans in this setting are sterile for. Say what you want about the Emperor. The Emperor at least had some ethics in that all the superhumans are sterile because he wanted humanity to improve on their own naturally. However, he knew that the universe was fucked up and they needed to develop fast as an emergency measure, which is why you have Space Marines and Custodes and all these superhumans running around. But he did not want them to become the dominant force in humanity because he knew it wasn't natural.
Okay, so
he wanted them to protect and serve humanity, but not replace them. He's like, okay, we're gonna give you guys superpowers, but we don't want like everybody because when everybody's super, nobody is, and like we don't want you guys to rule. Humans deserve to do their own thing because it's our mortality and fragility that makes us special.
As the emperor would. Wise man. Praise the emperor. Can they fuck though?
Well, yeah, like the emperor is fucked up and stuff, but he does. He's
an asshole.
He's an asshole, but he does make a point from time to time.
So he has this like
his thing is that like
sense of ethics, but it's just his own relative sense of ethics.
Because the thing is, there's a lot of people out there, and he's like, I love humanity as a concept, but I don't care about anyone in particular except my boyfriend.
As one does.
He has an immortal boyfriend who dies and it's sad.
Had an
Had.
immortal boyfriend.
Did the boyfriend die?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So during the Horus Heresy, okay, so like the Golden Throne is the giant lighthouse, and the Emperor
You
was
know the
powering
chair the Emperor sits on? It also is sealing away a giant hell portal underneath the earth.
Yeah, so
And
someone has.
if nobody's on it, a giant hell portal will rip the universe open.
Yeah, so like
And the
someone
Emperor's
has.
the only one strong enough to sit on it.
Yeah, it's like someone
Well,
has to be someone has to be on that chair powering it. And during the Horus Heresy, like the Emperor is like, "Shit, I really need to get up. I really need to get up there and save the day." And his boyfriend Malkador was like, "All right, I'm the second most powerful psychic in the universe. I'll take over, boss. You go save the universe. I'll take care of the chair for a bit." And him being on the chair
turn to dash.
burned him to ash.
God, I ain't heard a chair like that. I ain't seen a chair like that since fucking Disco Eliezer.
Yeah.
What a chair.
Yeah, and when the Emperor found out about this, he was very hard. He was like fuck. What was that Roman emperor who lost his shit when his boyfriend got killed?
Oh, an emperor.
That could be a lot.
Is that? Are you talking about like Greek myths with
No,
Controllus?
no. There was specifically a
Oh,
Roman
you're talking
emperor.
about history. Okay.
Yeah, like real history. Like real history, there was a Roman emperor whose name I'm forgetting right now. His twink boyfriend died, and he went on like a giant war, and that's pretty much what happened here.
Oh God. Oh, you Romans and your twinks. You Greeks and your
Yeah.
twinks. Damn.
So the Custodes are like on the table. You're playing like 20 guys maybe,
Right.
but they're all just really fucking cool and strong. So you're gonna be like, that's why they're one of the cheapest, because you don't need
a
that
whole
many
lot. Yeah.
to play. Yeah.
And they used to run around old up and naked, which I'm gonna be
Yes.
thinking about that forever.
This is their old model from the 90s where they have only a helmet and cape.
I know how to sell Trixie. I know how to sell a concept on Trixie. I know your buttons.
Yeah, it's like all y'all just using your knowledge for evil. The old ones look cool too, though. I like the helmets.
Yeah. There's the Grey Knights, who are like Space Marines, but they're all wizards, and they were started by the Emperor's boyfriend Malkador, who said, "Hey guys, I'm gonna find the best wizards and make them into Space Marines," and they have a baby carrier mech.
Malkador made a lot of things. He made the Master Atom. He made the Ecclesiarchy. He made the Assassin Guilds. He made a Grey Knights.
He carried. Okay, I'm gonna say it. He carried running the Empire.
That's what a good boyfriend does.
Yeah.
Amen.
They complete each other. Neither of them could have done it without the other.
And then a woman had to come along and throw a shit fit and eat all the babies in space.
They had to use a surrogate to have the Emperor's magic babies, and she said that, "I think the Emperor is a shit guy, so I'm gonna Superman them into space so that they can get away and lead better lives." And then they led much worse lives.
Fucking whip.
Because they all landed on like the worst planets. Like there's one of them, okay? He was designed to be like really sweet and empathetic and a good boy who would help everyone get along. Right?
Yes.
And he lands on, have you ever seen the movie Gladiator?
I have.
So you know how they make you gladiate?
I have. I know.
And he didn't want to gladiate because he's a good boy who didn't want to hurt anybody. So they stuck a bunch of nails in his brain that make him feel really incredible pain unless he's being violently angry.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
See, this is sad.
And they do it because if they didn't do that, he would be unwilling to go into a gladiator fight with the guy who adopted him, with his dad.
Oh, Jesus.
And so he winds up leading a revolution of all the gladiators. And then the Emperor shows up and says, "Hey, it's me, your long-lost dad. I'm here to pick you up." And he says, I would like to do my gladiator revolution. And he says, nope, you're coming with me. And without him, all the gladiators die. And
Holy fudge!
he's still mad about that. And now he's like, he has become the #1 top guy of the Blood God. His name is Angron, and he's angry all the time.
Was his name Angron before he got that mad? Because if so,
Yes, his name was Angron when he was a good boy who just wanted to be friends.
That's so sad. That's like the fucking prophecy. Like, you don't
Yeah.
name somebody Angron and they're just a chill dude.
Okay, Trixie. There's a fan theory that since the Emperor is like the world's most powerful psychic and stuff, when he found all his kids, the fan theory is that he knew which ones were going to turn to evil, and he just didn't bother with them.
You just kind of a shit. Yeah. So
he just left him at summer camp until he really wants to stay, and he was like, "Okay, now you got to go home."
And now Angron, because of those nails in his brain that make him mad all the time, he's just constantly mad and he doesn't like it. And so now he's a demon guy now. So he respawns whenever he dies. But he runs into fights because when in between like dying and respawning, that's when he gets to be calm. He's very sad. He is I can fix him material even.
God, that's so sad. God, yeah, like Jesus Christ.
There was like he has a magic demon sword that is made from there was like a demon of pride and vanity, right? A Slanesh demon who's like made her aesthetic out of being a gladiator, and he goes, "You are a fucking poser. You don't know what it means to be a gladiator." And beat the demon with a like metal pole until there was no demon and the pole was a sword. And that's how he got his sword.
You fake.
Okay, Trixie, Angron is Hulk mad. He's so Hulk mad that those giant mountain-sized mechs, he held up one trying to squish him.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like a giant mech tries to squish him, and he just like, he suplexes it, right? And that was before he got demon powers.
You know what?
That was when he was just like a guy.
I get it. I get it. I understand everything now.
And he's big and angry.
I mean, like if you ever seen Gurren Lagann, that's pretty much 40K.
I got to say, he suplexes. He suplexes.
And his guys, they also have the nails that make you angry.
Oh my god, this is the greatest.
And the way they work is at the start of every turn, you play Yahtzee. You roll 8 dice, and then like you pick out like for every doubles you get a buff.
Right.
So you play Blood Yahtzee, and then you run it down, and you don't do ranged attacks, and you don't cast spells. You run it down, and you hit them with an axe.
You just beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, they're simple and clean, and I think they're really fun.
That's incredible. Also, I really like the
similarly.
Oh god, what is that word? Verisimilitude with the story and gameplay and everything. I might be thinking of a word with that, but
like the ludonarrative.
Ludonarrative,
whatever it's called.
Yeah, because dissonance is the word when the narrative and the gameplay does not match. This does match.
Yeah, this is like ludonarrative consonant.
Yes.
Great. So Slanesh, who we showed earlier. Yeah. The purple one from earlier, and the elves, the BDSM elves, they all have in common being glass cannony. These guys are more like bruiser. They can take a hit and run it down, whereas like Slanesh is all about like you get a ton of bonus crit damage and rerolls.
Right.
So World Leaders are fun. Grey Knights, they all have wizard powers. And they are the second cheapest army to collect. I think third is Knights. Or Chaos Knights, if you're, they're the same. You can be Knights but evil. You can swear yourself to the gods instead of the Emperor. And then you get regular Knights but spiky.
We do like spiky. Dang.
Let me get them on screen. They're like regular robots, but spiky and angry.
Oh God, this is great. It's like what could make a
Uh,
robot better but spikes?
there's like an ability they have in game where you can take cultists and like feed cultists into the engines to make them stronger. You can like sacrifice like the mortals for your dudes. You get robots that can cast spells.
This is fucking amazing. It's got tusks. It's got tentacle looking things.
Tentacles.
That's a fucking
It's got
cannon?
tentacles and a funny pet bird.
This is all of my interests.
If you want to make a chaos knight, make it align with Slanesh, and you can slap on a giant dildo on it.
Oh, that's true. You can give it sex god because you get to pick whichever god you want, and you get like things based on that.
Like all the associations.
Or you can swear to like no god in particular.
I guess,
You can do all kinds of stuff.
man, this is like creative crack.
It's so fun
I
to like
sh-
make your own thing.
You should not have told me this. I should not be allowed to get within 10 feet of. You can just do whatever the fuck you want.
Well,
Because
for
it's horrible.
I love like
Warhammer's one of
crafting
the
my
best.
own models.
Warhammer's one of the best franchises because it's so open ended. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
They've like taken fan submissions in magazines and like said, "Oh, you're custom guys. You submitted them to the magazine, and we've looked over them. They're real now."
It's like, yeah, it was fucking cool. Let's just make it canon.
Yeah, it's real.
I
Yeah, it's
enjoy
canon.
that sort of thing.
They're right now running a writing contest where like whoever wins gets to pitch a book.
Oh, that's dope.
So
This guy is
if
cool.
if I had to pitch this 40K book, I'd be like, okay, Skaven are now canon in 40K.
That's great.
Skaven are from the fantasy game. They're just little rat guys who run around and eat cheese.
I think
And
I've
snort
seen
and
those
snort
guys.
fantasy cocaine.
That's true.
As one does.
They snort arcane crystals.
Fantasy cocaine is so important to me.
Okay, since I see Magnus on the screen, he is actually the saddest of the Chaos Primarchs because he's just a natural born fuck up. That's literally his only thing. He's a natural born fuck up.
He didn't want to turn evil or join the Chaos Gods. He tried to like help during the Imperial Civil War. He just repeatedly fucked it up until he got kicked out and kind of just had to join Chaos by necessity because the Empire didn't want him anymore.
That's
you know
so
the
sad.
werewolf guy who bullied his brother for being a nerd?
This is the guy that got bullied.
This is the brother who was a nerd.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's so sad.
Yeah. He's like, he kept trying to prove that he was like good at doing magic and that like he's just as valuable as everyone else because he has magic powers. And he just kept fucking shit up with magic that he didn't understand.
Yeah, and the world was like, no, actually, you're not.
And
You're
so
not actually as good as everybody else.
Yeah.
God.
And he's like, he worked for Zinch, the god of like tricks and schemes and eldritch horror. And he wants to be free. He just kind of sucks ass at it. And
So
keeps
sad.
like playing into his scheme.
It's kind of funny, but it's so sad. I think the sadness makes it funnier.
Hey, yeah,
He's
Trixie, have you seen any gameplay of Space Marine 2?
No, I have not.
Okay, I was gonna say that this is like this Primarch Space Marines are the Chaos Space Marines you fight in Space Marine 2.
Oh, God.
These guys, so, okay. Everybody, he had a small legion, and they all had this thing where over time they'd all like mutate and turn into like eldritch monstrosities, right?
Right.
So one of their wizard guys says, "Don't worry, I've searched the ancient texts and I found a spell that will fix it." And he casts the spell, and then they're not turning into tentacle monsters anymore. unfortunately, and everybody who has magic powers, their magic powers are now even better. Everybody who doesn't have magic power got Thanos snapped. They're all empty
Okay,
suits of armor
no,
filled with
no, no,
dust.
no, 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 no. Let me explain this. Trixie, you want to know how you stop flesh mutation?
Not having flesh, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's so fucking funny.
They're just empty armor filled with dust being animated by wizards. And so they're just a bunch of they're a bunch of fucking nerds. They're a bunch of space wizards. But they're cool as shit, and they get to cast spells on the table. That do a bunch of damage and do wacky shit. It's awesome.
That's great.
And then you have bird-themed demons, like this. Let me get it. There's also. Oh, the file is too big.
The birds are too big. Big birds.
It is Big Bird.
Ooh.
I think this model's really sick.
Ooh.
One head sees the future, the other head sees the past.
Neither of them see the present.
Neither sees the present.
But which one tells the truth, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, they're very fun. They're just all about like cool casting spells and wearing blue. They like the color blue, but you can paint them whatever color you want. There's like in the prequels they wore like metallic red, and you can paint that. I like them. They are difficult to paint because they have a lot of trim.
Right.
But it's worth it because they look fucking awesome.
They do look sick. And they have, look at the talons. They have talons. It's cute. I don't know if cute's the proper word for that, but that is what it is.
You know the god of Stinky?
Yes.
There's a bunch of guys who decided to become zombies, and they work for him. Where it's like they're immune to dying of natural causes, so they then try to catch diseases like Pokemon.
And they spread them.
Gotta catch them all. And then like they spread them around to spread Grandpa's gift.
It's like Plague Inc., but a guy.
Yeah, it's Plague Inc., but a guy.
That's amazing.
And so, like, in game, they are really tanky. They're not very fast, but they have an ever-expanding aura of debuff that gets bigger every turn.
Oh, that's sick.
So, like, they just walk up and you start dying. Yeah, they smell bad, and for every turn they don't shower, they get smellier.
Oh, so it's like kind of the natural experience when you go into, like, the wrong game shop.
Yeah. There's this horror story that has circulated around where somebody said like somebody at the store like tried to paint them more authentically by mixing shit into his paints.
Oh my god, no!
Yes, I too read TG back in the day.
Oh man.
I did not. I have not touched that site, but I've seen it reposted to Reddit.
Oh, everything gets back around. That's one thing about the internet. Everything gets everywhere else eventually.
And they also have, they've got like a Grim Reaper aesthetic going on because like they're the cycle of life and death, so they go harvest the plants.
Yeah,
they do a lot of body horror stuff, like you can see with that guy's mouth, like a mouth hanging out of his stomach.
Yeah, so these guys' Primarch very much has a giant fuck off scythe too. Like he looks like the Grim Reaper. There's actually more than one. There is actually literally more than one Grim Reaper in this universe.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, there was one Grim Reaper who caused every species in the universe to become instinctively scared of the Grim Reaper and know that that means death.
Ooh.
Because he like killed God with a scythe.
Yeah, and everyone's just trying to copy it now.
Right.
Yeah.
As you do. Oh, that is.
So it's like a giant Mothman with a big scythe.
I like
very cool model.
Yeah, so this guy is the Primarch of the Death Guard. This guy's the Primarch of the Death Guard. His name is Mortarion. And the funny thing is with this guy is that he fucking hates wizards. And
then he got wizard powers.
Yeah.
Because his dad was a wizard, and he hates his dad. So he has daddy issues, because they all have daddy issues.
Daddy issues, fuck yeah.
He has daddy issues, but then he's slowly becoming what his father was, and he hates it.
That's daddy issues peak. You either
Yeah.
overcome your dad or you become your fucking dad. Let's go.
And then there's the demons, who are very jolly and fun, and also gross and terrifying.
Oh, look at this! It's
Like,
Uncle Boogie.
They've
With
got
a
like the
sword.
Nurglings, which are little wacky guys. That's the great unclean one.
Oh,
There's
Look, you can see his little intestines. That's great.
yeah,
He has a
he's
flail that
terrifying.
has skulls on it.
His ranged attack is barfing on you.
Oh my god, that's so disgusting.
There's the Nurglings. They're funny little guys who just want to play. It's just that if you touch them, you get sick.
Yeah.
No, I just posted in the group chat, Trixie, sassy nerdling.
Oh god.
Oh yes, sassy Nurgling.
Oh my god.
So sassy.
He's the best.
Oh my god, that's so great.
And there's like the Beast of Nurgle, which is like it has the personality of a puppy,
Look
except
at
if
him!
you touch it, you get sick.
Look at that guy!
Because he's got like the plague, but he's a funny little guy.
Like the Nurgle faction will unironically give you hugs and actually mean it as hugs, but unfortunately they're a walking disease. So
yeah, but they do just want a hug. They're also very easy to paint. Because it's just like, it is a lot of very textured areas with like the intestines that you can use like paints. You can use like tints in order to paint. So it's very fun.
Or you can just cheat and use contrast paints.
Contrasts are tint.
Oh, okay.
I'm just explaining for somebody who doesn't know.
Those are cool colors. I like that.
Yeah. Let's see. What else am I missing from Chaos? Because demons are now part of. So demons used to be their own army where you could run. Oh right, I haven't talked about the regular Chaos Marines.
Yeah, the Black Legion. Just yeah.
Well, no, there's also the Word Bearers and the Night Lords.
I guess.
So you know Horus, how he had daddy issues. He had a son, and that son has daddy issues too.
He looks so disgusted with everything that's going on with everything.
He's very mad. His motto is "Let the galaxy burn."
He's over it.
He was always like, "I'm not as good as my dad," and when his dad died, he took over and then found somebody who was trying to like clone his dad to bring him back to life. And so he went and found that guy and beat the shit out of his clone dad to prove that he was always better.
Now, the funny thing is with Abaddon is that no one takes him seriously. Like, even his own Legion. It's just like, yeah, you're a War Master, whatever. Who cares?
It's like, sure.
Yeah, because lore-wise, it's like, he's supposed to be intimidating, but it's like, oh yeah, he's gone on the 13 Black Crusades, and, you know, he finally destroys this thing. Because they wanted, like, 13, because 13 is edgy, because, you know, it's the unlucky number. Except it implies that he fucked up and did nothing the first 12 times.
Right! It's like, why it take you 13 times?
Why did it take 13 tries?
Well, they tried to retcon it by saying it was all according to Keikaku.
Well, the sixth one did kill an important guy. It killed Dorn.
Allegedly.
That's true. They said that all that was recovered was his hand, which means he's going to come back with a metal hand later. So I don't think he's done much. But he's on the table. Chaos Space Marines are like, you know how normal Space Marines are all-rounders?
Yeah.
These guys are Space Marines but spiky, so they're like all-rounders, but they're more aggressive than tanky. They like melee a little more.
That makes sense. Because they're spiky.
And are harder to paint because they're very spiky and have a lot of trim. But they look cool.
They do look cool.
There's also, this is where we get into I Can Fix Him Boy.
I Can Fix Him Boy number like 3.
Well, he died.
God damn it.
He had future vision power. So, okay. One of the Emperor's kids. He also has future vision powers, like the good boy vampire.
This seems to be a pattern.
Except except he does not believe the future can be changed. And he's also fucking just the worst asshole, right? So he landed in like Gotham City, okay? Where like their primary export is violent crime. And he decides, you know how like Light Yagami thinks that he can stop all crime by like killing every criminal?
Everyone, yes.
No.
What if that, but like that includes jaywalkers, and the solution, and like instead of giving them painless deaths with the death note, it's like I'm gonna skin them alive on TV.
No, you had it right the first time. No, seriously, like the guy he's talking about is literally Space Batman.
I was hoping that we were gonna get this violent space Batman who kills.
Yes, he's Batman who kills, and he's like, at first he's like he tries to justify it both because his future vision tells him that this is gonna happen, and the future vision he refuses to ever disobey his future vision because if he does and proves that you can change the future, that means that he has to accept responsibility for all the things he's done.
That means he just did all that just because he
could.
Yeah.
If free will exists, then everything he's done is his fault.
And we can't have that.
Yeah. And so like he dies taking a bullet that like he could have dodged, but if he dodged, it would go against the future vision, and he
needs the prophecy
to prove the point that you can't change the future.
He needs the prophecy to be true for his own like mental state. So he's just like, oh yeah, fuck it, I'm dead. I can't do anything about it. I can't. That's great. That's fucking amazing.
And so when the Emperor came and said, hey, you're going to be a general, pick out your Space Marine Legion. And he goes, okay, I know how I'm going to pick people to be my Space Marines. And he goes into prison. He goes into like a supermax prison and says, give me your shittiest guys. Give me your worst, most heinous people so that I can give them superpowers. And that's how he picked his guys. And their style of war is, and he claims at first, this is the most moral way to do it. Because you see, if you go somewhere and you start a war, you're going to fight a battle that kills 1,000 guys on both sides. Whereas if I skin 100 babies on TV, they'll know not to fuck with us and give up. And eventually they stop pretending they're doing it because it's right, and they just fucking skin babies for fun. And they wear, let me pull up, because they got models recently.
Give me your worstest guys.
Yes, give me the worst guys from prison.
Just fuck me up, fam.
Give me the Joker. He walks into Arkham Asylum and says, I'll pick one of each, please. They have a flag that's just a dead guy, where they, replaced his mouth with, a speaker so that they can play their theme song or whatever. And they wear, capes made of people.
This is keto.
It's awesome because they're just unapologetically evil. They don't have some grand reason why they're doing it for the greater good. They're evil because they think it's fun.
I enjoy it.
They think being evil is fun and cool.
The main guy's like, shit, prophecy told me so. Ain't shit I can do about it.
Yeah, I gotta do it. Sorry. There's a point where there's a little kid who's trying to stick him up for money, and he sees the future and he's like, this kid's poor, he's hungry, and there are two possibilities. If I let him go, there are two possible routes. He either remains in his life of crime and becomes a terrible guy, or he manages to single-handedly reform the planet with the life lesson he learned from receiving mercy from Batman. Well, there's a chance he does more crime, so I gotta kill him. There is a moment where where evil Batman, right? There's somebody who's on the top of a roof, this lady, and she's gonna jump. And he walks up to her and goes, you can't jump. And she says, but I have nothing to live for. And he says, that doesn't matter, because what matters is, if you jump, it shows everyone in the world that there is no hope. And it will make the world worse. So just living is making the world better. And, he convinces her not to jump, and she's about to go, and he says, also, you don't have a permit to be up here, and kills her. He's the worst. He's just the worst guy.
I never want to fix this guy. I'm enjoying the atrocities, actually.
He has a model. It's pretty cool. Let me pull it up. He's just evil. He's the most evil. He's got a cape made of meat, made of
What?
people meat.
What a fucking guy, man! What an
His thing
absolute
is that
champion.
his style of war is that he jumps you and then runs away.
Kind of has
They're like,
Trixie Schizo and saying murderers has been
I mean, I needed one for the squad. It's been a while since it's been a while since I just had a Hispano that was fucking like just a fucking nutcase. Most of them have been like sad old men, so
yeah. Sometimes you need a crazy young man. Okay.
Exactly. Y'all get me.
Like their thing in the game, it's like, okay, they get a bonus when they outnumber the enemy because they fight like cowards, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna jump you.
Yeah.
It's not like
They get bonuses to like when they can make the enemy take like morale checks or be scared and piss themselves. And they get bonuses if they're outnumbered.
That's so good.
There's also like the word bearers who are like, Jehovah's Witnesses?
God.
Like how they knock on your door and like tell you about the good word of God?
Yeah, it's like, are you prepared?
These are like that for Satan. Their thing is that they knock on your door and say, have you heard of the good word of our Lord and Savior, Satan? Do you have any babies you can sacrifice? They love Satan. They love Satan. And they're gonna like come out and they're gonna convince everyone else to love Satan also. And they like summon demons into their own bodies.
God, that's
and
so
like build
great.
robot bodies for demons to inhabit.
I think the worst
All
part
kinds
is still,
of wacky shit.
The worst part is still like the knocking at the door part because it's like your
Yeah.
Saturday.
Like, I don't want to talk to you. You get out.
Right.
Like, I feel like I looked out to see who it is, and now you know I'm here.
Exactly. It's like,
so now I'm going to pretend nobody's home.
Right. It's
But like,
you're
you're going to wait there until I come out.
It's like, it's cool that you, like, it's all, the demon summoning is all, it's like, do you, whatever, but you fucking woke me up. And I don't like that.
Look, I've got something in the oven.
Exactly. My refrigerator is calling me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's great, though.
But the thing is that they're just like,
the refrigerator
also
thing, that's the
assholes.
Mechanicus.
Exactly. I have to go, like, sweet talk my refrigerator, so I can keep it at the correct temperature.
You have to pet your refrigerator. Okay. So how do you feel about yaoi robots?
You know how the fuck I feel about yaoi robots.
So a long, long time ago, when before even the elves came into existence, there were these guys, right? Well, there were two guys, right? Well, two like species. There were a bunch of frog people who you can't play as.
Oh, damn.
They made the elves eventually, and a bunch of guys we don't know what they look like. And they were new when the old ones, which are the name of the frog people, were old, and their star is dying, and they want to go out into the galaxy, but unfortunately, you know how like Superman gets superpowers from other stars?
Yeah.
They just get sick and die when they're like at a star outside their own.
Damn.
And so the frog guys roll by and say, hello. It's nice to meet you. And they say, hey, you guys have cool technology and things, and you live forever. Can you teach us how to live forever and like cure our cancer? And the frog guys say, no, fuck you. And so Cthulhu walks up to these guys and says, hey, I'm going to help you kick the shit out of these frog dudes. Because I have a grudge against them too.
Is that why we can't fucking play as them anymore?
Yes.
Because they get wiped out of existence for being dicks.
Yes. And then Cthulhu goes up to these guys. There's like a bunch of ancient eldritch gods. And this guy named Mephetron the Deceiver walks up and says, "Hello, I have an idea for you guys. I know how to cure your disease. If you all let me take your soul out of your body, I'll put them in these new robot ones for you." And all of them say, "That sounds pretty cool," except this one guy who can see the future and says, "That sounds like a fucking stupid idea. Your name is the Deceiver."
Right.
Nobody believes Future Sight guy, and he is insufferably smug about it to this day. Yeah. So they put all their, and then so they take the souls out of their body, right? They put a copy of all their memories in the robot bodies, and then Cthulhu eats all their souls.
Because that's what the fuck Cthulhu would do in this
Yeah.
scenario.
And, like, the Eldritch God is named the Deceiver. The Deceiver tricked them. Fucking shocker.
Actually,
Okay.
if they named the deceiver, if they named themselves the deceiver, I think they just did what they were supposed
The
to
other
do.
gods didn't like him either.
I
The
don't
other
even know
gods
if you
called
call
him that.
It's like, I don't even know if you call it deception, really. That's just like
Yeah.
doing as advertised.
So then, right, they all get put in robot bodies, and only some of them have like full autonomy and free will. Some of them are just like mindless robots now that are like, but there's still a guy in there, and it sucks to be that guy. And now, let me put a picture on. They look like this when the image loads. So there's like this really good book that everybody likes, where it's just kind of like two old robots bickering like an old married couple. The future seeing guy and a guy who decided that the way he'd stay sane over like a million billion, because this happened like a million years ago, right?
Oh god.
65.
Yeah,
Million?
65 million years ago when the universe happened. He decides, how am I going to stay sane from then till now? Because everybody else like went to sleep and hibernated until now.
So you undersold me. So not only is this Yowie, this is old man robot Yowie. You undersold
Yes,
it.
this is
actually.
old man robot Yowie.
This is even better than you initially pitched.
Yeah. So they like, and he got into like just collecting shit. Like they have, oh right, before, right. They get mad at the Eldritch gods and kick the shit out of them. But they don't kill the Elder gods. They catch them in Pokeballs. And now they collect the Elder gods. They broke them into a bunch of pieces and keep them in Pokeballs. And it's like now their new leader like rides around in a throne powered by the gods who tricked them. That's trapped in there.
That's so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah. Catch them all, Catan.
They literally just have like Cthulhu in a Pokeball, and they just have that. And then they said, "We're gonna go to sleep for a while because the frog dudes made the elves and they made the orcs in order to fight us, but they're organic matter and we're robots. So if we go to sleep for a few million years, they'll all have died out by then and run out of food or some shit." And they wake up, and it turns out they didn't die. And these fuckers are on my lawn. Everywhere is my lawn, and you young whippersnappers are on it, and you need to get out.
Hey,
but they don't want to like.
Let me sell you on another bit of Necrons. So you know how the Necrons used to be flesh and bone and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of them have lost their minds because when they killed off one of their Cthulhus and turned him into a Pokeball, he cursed a bunch of them to say like, okay, you guys may have killed me, but I'm going to make you think that you're still alive. And
oh yeah, it like sucks to be them. They're like they don't need to breathe anymore, but they constantly feel like they're choking because they don't have any lungs.
That's so
and
evil.
So some of them go crazy and start skinning living people in order to try to get their skin back by like cosplaying as people.
That's the most evil thing.
By stealing the skin of the living.
Yeah, it's like my lungs don't work. I'm going to take yours.
Yeah.
That's so good.
So yeah, it sucks to be these guys. And so like one of them stayed sane. Like he'll go out. He has like the Titanic, like the boat from Earth, and he has it. He just goes around and steals shit to have in his house, to have in his collection.
Yeah,
He
Trixie,
has people. He like catches people. He's caught like George Washington or whatever in a Pokeball and just keeps him
Yeah,
because it's cool to have.
Yeah, just imagine a space robot Indiana Jones.
Yeah. He wants to put everything in a museum.
And it's his museum.
It's his museum. He runs the British Museum where he steals shit and puts it there. He steals other people's treasures. But there is one time we know that he has given one of them away because when there is an important guy who is about to die, and he says, "I'll save you," and catches the important guy. And he gives the important guy's treasured items to important guy's daughter, who becomes the new important playable character, so that she'll have something to remember her father by.
Aw. I mean, he didn't get him, but aw.
He is a good boy.
And
he's kind of an asshole.
Also, in exchange, he also did release some other people. Like, he had a Pokeball with a few other people in it too, and it's like, oh, by the way, here's some other characters that have peace. I'm out.
Oh yeah, whenever there's like a plot point that's getting out of hand, and they need to write it out because like the narrative implications this has for the setting at large. We just meant this to be like for one character's character development, but now we've realized that this is like kind of a big deal. He just comes and steals it. That's how they fringe shit. They just have him come catch things in Pokeballs.
Yeah, Trace in the Infinite is Deus Ex Machina, literally.
That's
yeah. So... he's awesome.
I keep saying that's so good, but Robot Indiana Jones to just steal shit just because he feels like stealing shit and keeping it and steals people and they use him as a fucking plot device that's about as good as things get.
And so his rival / boyfriend is, you know, the guy who like said, "I don't think we should trust this is the deceiver guy."
Yeah.
He is fucking insufferably smug about how he saw it coming.
The guy that was right.
And to be completely fair, he has earned it.
Yeah.
Because he was right and everyone else was wrong. And also he can see the future and has like time powers. He can just like time travel and shit. It's crazy.
That's so fun. Oh god, no. Body, stop. Stop being sleepy. This is not the time for learning about Space Robot Yaoi. Old man
now,
Space Robot Yaoi.
There's also this like forbidden romance between two of them where it's like a noble lord and his bodyguard. Mm-hmm. And it's great. They're yaoi. They're old robot yaoi.
Old robot yaoi, which is almost a superior form of old man yaoi because they're fucking robots. Like the fucking robots.
Orcs are British. They're based on like. So have you ever seen like how British soccer fans or football, as they call it, will like go get in fights? And that's like part of the game.
Like, isn't there like a one like little
football hooligans?
Like the Blood Bowl, I think it is.
Yeah, that's American football. But yeah, this is what British people think American football is, where like you have a gun on the court and shit.
Yeah, but the orcs are specifically soccer hooligans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So a different class of sports maniac.
And like the British, teeth are they have unique teeth in that, right? So orcs love fighting. Fighting is their national sport. And how many teeth you collect represents how many fights you've gotten in and won, because you get your teeth knocked out and you collect them, and then they grow back, because orcs, their teeth grow back. And so teeth are their currency, because they represent how many fights you've done.
Makes sense.
And so, right, orcs are fungi, right? Okay, this is an important thing to know.
They're literal mushrooms.
Oh, fungi isn't not as in just fun guys, but like literally the plant.
Yeah. orcs used to actually be really smart. However, right, a mushroom reproduces by spreading its spores. And so the reason why orcs like fighting is because natural selection has made it so that if you get in a fight, right, you get like hit a bunch and that spreads your spores. So the dumbest orcs who get in fights and get cut in half get to spread their spores. So now orcs are like, yeah, well, fighting's just optimal and it's very fun and cool. And the biggest, strongest guy gets to be in charge. Oh, right, orcs Zenkai boost, by the way.
Ain't no fucking way.
So when you get in a fight, you get bigger, and the biggest orc is the strongest orc. Goblins are not a separate species. Instead, they're just small orcs who all the other orcs make fun of because they got like picked before they were ripe.
Hey, Trixie, do you remember the super advanced frogmen from earlier? They made a bunch of races.
They invented the orcs as a weapon.
They invented
to fight the robots.
They invented this race without an off switch.
Yeah.
So they're just going.
They're still going.
Yeah. They're just everywhere. And so the bigger the orc, the stronger the orc.
And
on the table. Alright, I probably should have mentioned Necrons. On the table, they're slow. They regenerate like Terminators because they're skeleton men, and they get back up when you knock them down, and they shoot good. Orcs,
yeah, so just a little side tangent on the Necrons. The original version of Necrons, they are literally the Terminator in space.
Yeah, they're just Terminators from Terminator. But okay. Orcs are funny.
All the characterization came later.
How do you think orcs play?
I think I feel like they swarm. I don't know. They feel like they swarm.
It's just a bunch of funny green guys in a large quantity running forward at you. However, okay, to orcs, right, fighting is about fun. So shooting guns is not necessarily as fun as swinging a sword. However, they do have guns. However, the guns are less optimized to deal damage and more optimized to be really loud and make loud noises, because that's exciting, and be like really loud and flashy. Because it's like fireworks, you know?
Right.
Okay.
They don't really bother aiming. It's more so about the fun of shooting. And so orcs on the table, they have guns, but it's very much so you roll a lot of dice and all of them miss, but you got to roll a bucket load of dice.
Okay, Trixie, I have to let you know that the orcs' guns aren't supposed to work. You want to know why they work?
Because they think they work.
They think they work.
They believe. Orcs are all slightly psychic. And so together, because when they believe something, it happens. Yeah.
That's so good.
So there's this thing known as orc color theory, where, like, if an orc is in a car, they'll paint their car red because red's the fastest color, so the car goes faster because it's red.
I like the logic for purple. It's like, have you ever seen a purple orc? Hey.
Yeah. Purple's the sneakiest color because you've never seen a purple orc. There's a bunch of there's the orc clans, right? Where you've got the goth. They wear black and white monochrome because they're goths. And because they're goths, they're tough and strong. So they're tougher. There's what are they called? The evil sons, who wear red because red makes you go fast. And they drive cars. And they like orcs. They have this really fun aesthetic where they drive vehicles made of trash.
But they work because
they work. Because they believe. There are, let's see. There's the Bad Moons who, okay, they wear yellow because yellow is the richest color because gold is yellow, kind of.
I can buy it.
And they actually are the wealthiest orc clan. And the reason why is that their teeth grow back faster than everyone else, so they have the most teeth, and teeth are currency.
Is that a fucking dragster?
Yeah, they ride tricycles.
Oh, God.
They do have dragsters, though.
I'm so happy.
They have, like, a very junkyard aesthetic, but there's also... So there's two, like, main sub-factions of orcs you can collect. There's the junkyard style, right? Mm-hmm. And then, have you ever played Monster Hunter?
No, but I've seen it.
They have, like, Monster Hunter dudes.
Oh, my God.
You're forgetting the best orcs though.
Freebooters.
Yeah, you know exactly what
There
I was
are
gonna
also
do.
orc pirates. They wear pirate hats, and they're cool.
That's amazing.
So you've got orcs who hunt monsters, and they wear like monster parts and like fur coats, or you have orcs who ride tricycles made of trash.
That's all really, really, really good though.
It's so fun. The best painter at my local store is an orc player, and he does incredible shit.
That makes sense. Get me pictures.
Yeah,
I
and
will.
the fun thing about building orcs and stuff, since their gear and vehicles are all ramshackle and stuff, you can. They are the faction to kit bash stuff. Like, if you want to literally have like a Tonka truck from like Walmart, that could be an orc tank, as is.
You can just like slap. Orcs come with a bunch of spare parts that you can just like slap together, and that's just a guy. Orc doctors, the way they work is they just stitch shit together, and then like they're mushrooms, dude. I don't care. They don't have organs. You just like you just like duct tape them back together, and they're good to go.
It just fucking works.
Okay, Trixie.
Yeah.
Here's a fun little story. Like the main big orc faction leader, he got decapitated, and it was a big hullabaloo. But like the Imperium was like, "Yeah, we finally killed him. Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then suddenly it's like, "Wait, why is
They
he
just stuck his
back?"
head back on
They stuck
on a
his
bigger
head back.
body,
It's like,
and he got a Zenkai boost,
It's like
no, but here's the funny
so he's
thing.
bigger now.
If he was the biggest, where did they get a bigger body? Don't ask questions.
you know.
Yeah. They found a guy with a really big arm and a guy with a really big leg and put them together like Exodia.
So fucking good.
They're awesome.
The best.
Oh, and here's another. Okay, so like the main orc, he has a flag bearer, and his flag bearer.
Oh yeah, it's just a little lucky goblin.
He's the luckiest goblin because he always survives. By which we mean he always dies, and a new one just pops up.
Yeah. But on the table, he has like 1 health and no armor. But it's like he just if you roll a d6 and on a 2 or higher, he doesn't take the damage. But he only has 1 health.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so
and they're a funny little duo.
That's the main orc and his little Gretchen buddy.
What a fucking delight, really.
Orcs are so fun. Personally, I'm a big fan of like Shrek green type orcs where they're like really saturated green.
Yeah.
Some people prefer like a more yellowish. I like Shrek green.
That's so fucking fun.
There's an army that just got a big update. The regular elves.
No one.
You know how some of that. No, they're cool. So you know how some elves got into BDSM. There's 3 kinds of elves you can play as. There's elves that when the Elven Empire collapsed, you either got into BDSM, socialism, or clown.
Mime specifically.
You can play the. No, they talk. They're not mimes. They got into musical theater and doing clown shit.
The aesthetic is largely mime.
Classy?
No, it's Commedia dell'arte. It's literally called Harlequin.
Okay, yeah. So there's a faction of Clussies if you want that.
Classy?
Yeah. They drive around in little clown cars that carry more of them than it looks like. It should be able to.
Because space.
There's these guys. These are elves. Well, no, because they're clowns. It's a clown car. It fits more guys than it is big. That's how clowns work.
I mean, in-universe explanation.
Okay. When Slanesh was born, all of the elven gods died except for one. The god of like tricks and shit and being a clown.
Of course.
So the god of clowns is the last surviving god, and he's plotting his revenge. And the servants of the clown god are some of the most powerful people in canon.
Because of course.
Yeah. They are the only elves who do not go to hell when they die. Because the clown god watches over them. and they're all plotting how to kill Slanesh. They're gonna kill God with the power of clown shit. The ultimate final prank.
That's so fucking good.
It's awesome. So the elves, they have some mechs that are more like Evangelion type stuff than like the Gundam style that the
Right.
Tau have. Let me pull it up. Uh, like this.
Ooh.
Now its lore is like, so you know how they keep their souls in rocks?
Yeah.
They have like robots where you plug in your soul rock into it so that you can go be alive again after you've died by possessing a robot. And so the big ones are like tandem vehicles they have to be piloted by a pair of twins, one living and one dead.
Wow.
It's metal.
That's sick.
So you've got elves and then clowns. Let me find a good picture of the clowns. The clowns, elves, they're glass cannony, and they like shoot and hit and run and stuff. The dark elves, who are the BDSM ones, are even glassier, even cannonier, and the clowns are the glassiest, cannoniest.
Oh man, that's
And they
really
also
nice.
like break all the rules and do clown shit. Like their rules, they always have their special rule be like, see this rule from the basic rule book? That one doesn't count. They do a bunch of fancy bullshit, and they jump around and they're clowns, and it's cool. Okay, they made
great.
clowns cool.
You know, it's just funny, silly. It's just they're clowns. Shit.
Yeah, they're silly guys, and they are like,
and they're going to kill.
They could kill anybody if they wanted to, but they're actually pretty morally decent.
Well, truth be told, a lot of the Harlequins come from both light and dark Eldar. So,
Yeah,
like, for example,
you don't choose the clown life. The clown life chooses you. You hear a mysterious calling from the clown god, and you wander off to join the troop.
That's kind of like I think how people become regular clowns too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to go to you have to apply to clown college, whereas here the clowns choose you.
Yeah, it's like a faction of carnies.
Yeah.
And you just hear from the voice like, "Join the circus."
Very much.
They have like weird dream magic, and they have like belts that let them turn anti-gravity on and do like flips and shit. And like illusion powers.
Okay, you remember the golden superboys, like the Emperor's bodyguards from earlier? They got bodied by these guys.
Yeah, no, they got the shit kicked out of them by the clown.
And just like they just did some flips over them, just like, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah,
they're fucking clowns.
Pretty much.
Also, them winning is funnier, so it has to happen.
Yeah.
The Bugs Bunny rule. It never.
They are very often busted as shit in game. Power level shouldn't be what determines what faction you pick, but clowns they're horseshit, man. There, the image is finally up on the screen.
Yeah, it looked pretty sick.
They're just a bunch of wacky clowns. They got really into musical theater in high school, and they wander the galaxy performing plays and occasionally killing demons.
As one does when you're a clown.
Yeah. And then let's see. Shit, what else is there? Let me check the list to make sure there's nothing I'm missing. Oh yeah, the Tyranids!
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like you're missing the bug people.
Yeah, so you know the Zergs from StarCraft?
I do. I also know Michael Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zarg from StarCraft really ripped off of these guys.
Yeah, so you know the ones Matara plays?
Yeah,
yeah, these came first.
Trixie,
It-
Warhammer's been going since the 80s.
I'm aware of that tangibly. It's kind of like, D&D been going on the back around about that long. You just kind of forget
Yeah.
that because it's like been going on so long. You just kind of forget it's been going on that long. But yeah, that would be
Yeah,
way
okay.
before.
it just always existed.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
would be
everything
way
that happened before
beforehand.
I was born happened at the same time. Like
Okay.
Mozart and Alexander the Great coexisted because they are both in the nebulous time frame that was before me.
Okay, like a lot of shit stole from Warhammer, but Warhammer stole from Starship Troopers and Dune.
It's like
Yeah, Warhammer is like
all the great things stole from something else, though. That's how you
mediocre
get great.
writers borrow, great writers steal.
Yeah, that's what you just rip something off wholesale.
Yeah, but it's one of those things of how blatant it is, though.
It's Tolkien in space. It was like originally how it went, and then they added more shit.
Yeah.
But Tyranids,
Well, you have to,
do you like bugs?
Warhammer. Yeah, because Warhammer Fantasy came first, so it was like effectively rip off Lord of the Rings, and then it was like, okay, let's have it in space. So what literature is there for space? Dune, Starship Troopers, done.
And then the space one sold 1 million more copies.
And then
There was like a point where the basic Space Marine kit outsold all of fantasy.
Because space is simply better.
Because space is cool.
Space is just better. It just is.
Because space has space bugs.
Exactly.
Yeah. You've got the space bug hive mind, where like you have your important guys, where they have the way they work is like there's the keyword synapse, where you have your guys that are like connected to the hive mind, and then all of your other guys who aren't get stronger when they're nearby something that is.
Right.
And so you can run like a big horde of little guys. You can run a bunch of big monsters. There's like kaijus and stuff.
Oh, that's sick. Love fucking kaiju.
Yeah.
Love fucking monsters too, actually. Not just I love fucking monsters. I mean, I fucking love monsters. I said that in the wrong order.
Yeah.
Both
well,
where's the comma in that sentence?
Exactly. It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
We all know where the comma is. We all know it's there.
It could be anywhere.
Oh man, look at that guy.
Yeah. They're like, they have guns made of meat that like shoot little parasites out that like burrow into people.
Oh, that's sick.
And then one of the factions is like humans who have been possessed by their brainworms. Like they'll infect a person with a brainworm and then like have that person start a cult, like Jim Jones, right?
Actually,
the
better example would be Shadows over Innismith. For the cults.
Yeah.
Ah man, I love me a good cult.
Where they worship the star gods that are eventually coming to welcome them, and then they clear the way for the star gods to come, and then the star gods come and eat everybody. And the star gods are these guys.
Yeah, and the cult starts off small. It's like preaching love and peace, and then suddenly you have a guy with 3 arms. It's like, okay, what happened there?
Yeah. You have a guy with 3 arms. At first, they're just all bald, right? That's how you the telltale sign of being in the cult is that you're bald.
Understandable.
And they have like a Mad Max aesthetic because they're just normal people on like dirt bikes and like ATVs and cars with guns strapped to them.
That's a really good aesthetic. Oh.
No, if you want a good aesthetic, we're gonna have to talk about the squats.
Oh yeah, so let's talk about the dwarves. The dwarves used to be back in the 80s, they were a faction, and then nobody bought them, so they stopped being a thing for a while. They were occasionally mentioned. And then they came back. Originally, they were a biker gang. They were like space biker gangs. Now they are space capitalism. How do you feel about our Lord and Savior? What if you didn't want to worship one of the gods or the God Emperor? What if you wanted to worship the invisible hand of the free market?
Yeah.
What if Ronald Reagan was 4'8"?
No. Here's the sales pitch. Trixie, have you ever played or watched a playthrough of Deep Rock Galactic?
Ooh, haven't played it. Heard of it, haven't played it.
Yeah, so space dwarves with power armor. That's pretty much it.
I mean, that's all you really need. I love dwarves.
Yeah. They
Dwarves
go
are so much
mining
superior to elves.
and they make big money, and it's like they go to war because it's like, oh, here's a planet with a bunch of like valuable resources on it. I don't care that you live here. Finders keepers. I'm taking your shit.
Oh,
And they'll like also be mercenaries. They love capitalism, and it's like they're all a bunch of clones grown in tubes because they're all part of the machine. They're all replaceable workers. But it's like
No.
it's why they
machine,
all.
Hey Trixie, do you remember how the Imperium banned artificial intelligence after the Terminator uprising?
Yeah, because it was, the Terminator uprising. They were like, no, we don't want
These
to
guys
do that.
still have it.
Yeah, the dwarves still have AI.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they have a bunch of like big robots they're getting on in years, and so they're slowing down. But like you don't want to restart the computer because what if you fuck something up? So they just keep letting shit get worse, but they're not going to change anything out of tradition.
Yeah, like all their all their clone vats are run by these AI, and all the AI have Alzheimer's. Just think about that for a second. The AI that's managing your species has Alzheimer's.
That's so
It
fucking
sucks,
funny.
and like that's why you see it's why you see on the models a lot of them have tattoos or fun hairstyles because they're clones. That's how they become individuals.
Yeah.
Because it's all they have that makes them unique.
So good. Capitalism.
So you have funny little robot guys. And they have like a classic astronaut aesthetic, like Jetsons retrofuturism.
Oh, I do love retrofuturism.
I've seen people who have designed their own corporate logos on decal sheets in order to like put on things to make their own company.
Yeah, and Trixie, you see the three bikes in the background. Their main aesthetic back in the day before they got retconned, they were like space dwarf bikers, and it looks like they're trying to bring that back, which I'm all for.
I'm right.
Space dwarf bikers.
They're awesome.
Sick. Like that's fucking like it's fucking Kino. Like, yeah, bring that back. Like, what do you mean? You have to say the retrofuturistic thing is also really cool.
Well, okay. The thing is with the dwarves in 40K are abhumans, which are human mutants and stuff.
Well, no, it's unknown. It's unknown. They are able to, even though humans are racist, right? They're allowed to work with humans because they strategically keep it ambiguous whether they're just really short humans or not. Whether they're their own species or just like humans who were on a high gravity planet for so long that they just got shorter.
Okay, well, I was going with some training. Okay, yeah. So, since the Imperium had the Civil War and everything went to shit, these guys didn't. These guys were kind of isolated, kind of just mining. They were just isolated, diggy holing and stuff. So they, much like with the AI, they also have a lot of other technology that never like hit the wayside because they didn't have a galaxy-wide Civil War. But like we said before, a lot of their technology is getting long in the tooth. So like the Mechanicus, like the Red Robot Boys would love to see a lot of their shit and stuff, but it'd be like, how does this work?
Right. It's like, there's
it works.
No one knows.
Trust me.
It just works. It just does.
Oh, right. The Mechanicus, they don't actually know how their tech works. They just kind of do the rituals and like appease it. Like they have walkers, right? That like the chicken walkers from Star Wars?
Yeah.
Except they're always walking. They don't know how to they can turn them off, but they don't know how to turn them back on. So whenever they're not using them, they leave it on a treadmill. Which is awesome.
Yeah, so with the Dark Age of technology and the Civil War and stuff, like like the peak of humanity fell and they forgot a lot of shit and stuff. And so like for example, during the golden age of humanity, like the golden age of technology, they had what is known standard was it standard
Standard
template
template constructs.
construct, yeah. And pretty much what it was is like these computers with like the entire sum of human knowledge. And unfortunately, a lot of those there got lost over time or broken over time.
Right.
Even the fraction of the total sum of humanity is valuable. Like even finding the template for like a
For
new
a
farm
toaster.
for a toaster. Okay, there was a story, I forget what it was. Like a guy found a STC for a new a knife, and it was they were so happy about it they gave him a planet. That's how important these things are.
Oh wow. That's
There was okay, so when they released a line of paint called contrast paints that are designed to make it easier to paint with just one coat, right? They released a short story about Commissar Trask of the Imperial Guard, who discovered like the blueprints, the STC blueprints for like making a new kind of paint, a new
oh
kind of pigment that makes painting equipment faster. And so they named it after him. It is Contrast paint.
oh that's fucking neat, dude.
Oh right. There's stuff called like the land speeder. It's not called that because it speeds over land. It's land speeder. It's named after Mr. Land.
What does it do?
It speeds over land. But like the landscape camera, the Polaroid land camera is also named after Mr. Land in real life.
oh
It's not called a land camera because it lets you take landscapes. It's called that
right
because it was made
because
by Mr. Land.
oh man, what a good name he had for these types of things
Yeah,
too.
I'm a full nominal determinism believer. Like, I just don't think that like one of the richest people back in like I'm taking a class on the history of like graphic literature, and the first guy to really commercialize comic books was called Max Gaines. That's like a fucking Ace Attorney rich guy name, okay?
Max Gates is so good. Or he was gonna
Max
be a
Gaines.
or he was gonna be a
Of
bodybuilder.
course he's gonna make money.
Like either he was
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
be run
naming
by
my
a protein
child
shake.
Joe Dollar, okay?
No, I'm with Trixie. There's a missed opportunity for not being a bodybuilder.
I mean, yeah, it's one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm getting a little tired. Anything we've missed, or I'm sure there's
I
like a
think
fast
we have
list.
gotten through it all.
Yeah, just imagine any fantasy race and stick in space. There's probably something there for you in 40K.
Yeah. Or anything else. Like, and I do a lot of custom kit bashing, right?
Right.
I have a full like custom army where it's like there's not punk rockers. So I made my own punk rocker army by combining kits. You can do anything.
But they're noise marines.
I did Sisters of Battles with Necromunda Eschers.
Okay, I see it now.
Yeah. You can make anything. If only you have the imagination.
Imagination.
And
Wait.
because you have a friend with a 3D printer and you own an airbrush, you can paint anything without that much difficulty, and you can make anything on the cheap.
Hell fucking yeah,
So
brother.
go forth and have fun.
Thank you. Gotta say thank you, dudes. I think my brain is exploding with ideals, so I feel like this stream went really well. I am sure
Yeah.
there is going to be some kind of a cursed Warhammer sequel because when
We
things
shall
work,
do a paint along.
when things work, they work, of course. But yeah, thanks then for popping in and sharing. I think it worked. I think it worked better with multiple perspectives. Cause
Yeah.
you can't learn too much about too much. But so I don't fucking wheeze myself to death or like spread the fucking plague. I don't think I'm a child of Nurgle.
You could be.
I could be.
Nurgle is always waiting.
Of course, the
Nurgle loves you.
Yeah, Nurgle loves everybody.
well, thank God somebody does. Well, I will bid thee adieu, gentlemen. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for helping me learn all this
Yeah.
cool ass shit. Bye. And thank you, Chad, for always indulging me in my crazy ass bullshit. This has probably warped my brain in like the best possible way. I will see you all later and have a great night. Bye bye.